the match starts, and we actually have already got the call that the match has already begun. The players are in the lobby right now. They are waiting to be boarding that C-130, which is autopilot. Let's see where it takes, where the fight trajectory is going to be. But as usual, we're going to have the match number 1 to be E-ERANGEL, and post which we'll be having a lot of matches to be coming forth. But for now, it is going to be E-ERANGEL. And before looking into what is what, how, and who is playing and what is going to happen, I guess we're going to dive in directly into the match because the players are not wanting to wait for the action.
I mean, we have already taken our time, so definitely the action is much awaited. Looking forward to see what kind of action is going to be there, and hopefully all of you guys representing your favorite teams and eventually supporting your favorite teams from Brazil. Hopefully that this team is going to give you an insight that how far the players, or should I say your favorite teams, have come back in these regions. And obviously PUBG is not a game that you can actually just come around and gel with. You have to have that right kind of call outs. The maps are actually going to be quite dynamic, be it E-ERANGEL, be it the map of Miramar. But look at that, the counter is already here. 3, 2, 1. And with that, we are back again on the desk with some beautiful flows. And this is C-130, which is going to come up there. And as we were talking about it, my name is Ray, along with me, it's Echo Boy in desk. And the flight path, well, it is starting from Milta Power, and seems like that it is pretty close to Lipovka as well. So yeah, teams can jump in that vicinity. But if we talk about the lobby, look at that. Every team is ready, action-packed. 64 players are representing their whole teams. To be precise, 16 teams are going to be there. There are, if I'm not wrong, 5 groups. Group A, B, C, and D. And along with that, Group E is also there. This is the first match where Group A, B, C, and D are taking up a fight. Looking forward to see where they are going to jump in. Is it going to be Pochinki, where the fights might start? Or it could be Rozhok, or it could be school, or it could be military base as well. This is the territory of Brazil. I'm not familiar with the teams, but let's see what can actually come back in the game.
Well, I can actually, guide you with one team right now. That is going to be Alpha 7. We definitely saw them playing the PMGC. Quite an amazing performance coming up from their end. Let's see on what they have got for this particular year, for this particular scrims, for this particular game, actually. It all comes down to what is happening currently, right, Raider? And currently, the flight trajectory almost about to end. All the players have already taken their jump. It's going to be a bit difficult for the players who are planning to go to the northwestern sides, talking about Georgia Pole, that is, because that seems to be quite far away from the flight trajectory itself. And whoa, I guess the gods of PUBG want all the players to be going to the Georgia Pole area.
That is the centric one. That is the location where the center part is going to form. So definitely they can go for it. But seems like that we've got some initial frags coming in. We have got some initial picks that are actually going to be there. It is pretty close to the Ferry region, and those shots are going to be quite an amazing one. TPR's EDW was able to finish one off, and that's a good start for him. Team Predators is already in front of us. Team Predators, let's see what they can do. Player 3 is there with the S1987. Definitely not a gun that you want to go with guns blazing, because it's a shotgun. One shot can be credible. One shot can miss everything out as well. TP's player 5 is actually going to find another one. Oh, that was a sweet shot coming in. 2 kills coming from Team Predator's corner, and still not even a single casualty. They're still finding their way home, and they might actually come back with some other beautiful takedowns. But let's see what is going to happen. The FEP shots are coming in. The last one standing also gets counted. The Ferry Pier is going to be reigned by the team which is known as the Predators. And yes, exactly as per the name says, they are the Predators, hunting everybody down in their territory.
See, now it all comes down to who is lucky. I mean, this fight was all about the luck factor, because if you are contesting a drop, you need only one thing, and that is going to be the gun. Whoever gets it first has an upper advantage. Get the knocks, get the finishes, pocket few finishes for yourself and for the team, and then you're ready to go for more battles out there. But I'm sure Team Predators are going to be quite happy with the first initial battle out there for themselves, and they are going to look for more, because now they have their momentum built, and they're definitely, by the name that is being suggested, Predators, they're going to be praying down for more.
Oh, Knife and Skull, that's an interesting name. Prismok is the area where they're looting. Although they also have a competition, because the thing is, team number 7 is pretty much close to them. This can be a very crucial fight for them, because Prismok is not the region you want to actually die in. It's pretty much far away. You are not going to get any kind of advantage when it comes to the points distribution as well. So having the position points advantage is going to be very critical for these guys. Remember, this is the PUBG Pro Scrims, and it is presented by Ruthless Esports. None other than that, to be honest, the price pool is going to be of $300 per week. This is week number 1, where 3 days are actually going to be there. Today, tomorrow, and day after tomorrow is going to be the 3 days where for straight up 5 matches we are going to be here. We are going to witness the clash, we are going to witness the fights and stuff like that. But if we talk about another beautiful region, the school main building and their parts, well, it is pretty much completed by Rise Esports. We have got Mufasa in the scene. We have 7, Gary X, and with that, Nuance is also going to be there. But everybody is pretty much focused on the loot, that they are not even focusing on the frags that has to be there. I mean, initial battles should be there, but the clashes are not here. No one wants to actually go ahead and eventually find for a clash,
Yeah.
because if they do that, the release won't be right enough, and they might be actually getting taken down soon. So that is a good kind of, let's say, initiation coming from the corner. But decent guns are there, decent picks are coming in, and we all know that the play area is also getting restricted. After all, it's a esports room card, so definitely the play zone damage is going to be amplified as well. So having the right advantage is going to be very important.
See, well, you spoke about the initial battle, the initial clash. I guess no team would want that. I prefer no team having that because, well, when you have an independent draw for yourself, then you are in the free space and the free mind to first loot for yourself, get those vehicles to move around. Look at the zone. Look at how the flight trajectory was. Make your own, set of rules on where you would start your rotation from. I mean, that's going to be from the place where you're looting. But from there, you will have to definitely, mark the territories where you're going to go and then find a good sweet spot in the zone. There's a lot of things that you'll have to, take care of. The IGL does that in the game. But when you have a drop clash, the first initial thing that you actually end up doing is that, where is the gun? Where is that gun? Which one can I use? How can I get that particular player down? So those are the first things that will come in your head. And you get so involved in that particular fight is that then you never get the time to think about other things that I spoke about. But I mean, Team Predators are definitely happy with that initial clash. But talking about the next fight over here, INF already on their way to be charging against KS Sindra, that's his name. He got a nade. Now he's got a gun in his hand. Let's see what he's going to do with that.
The nades are coming in, definitely trying to impact the fight, but let's see, is it going to be possible? Yes, the nade was there. None of the splash damages are going to be there, and that is again going to create a deceptive momentum for the team. But the third nade, it might not be a, should I say, mistake, but yeah, the bouncing damage could have been coming in, but eventually he threw in the window, and that was not a fruitful one to be precise. But from the back end, it's going to be Sendra who's going to pick one down. It's Federal who has been taken down, but let's see what kind of picks are going to be there for Team Influence. Came in, they have to survive. Influence came in, one more player gets taken down. That's Golden who has been taken down, the last two remaining players. Let's see what they can bring to the table. One other knockout comes in. That's a beautiful pick coming indeed. But finally, all said and done, the knife and skull was able to pop out a knife on the skulls of Influence CHEMIN.
See, Influence CHEMIN definitely had a good position, but I guess they didn't really read through this entire fight. Like I always say, dip your toe in the water before you commit to it. There's always better to know what the temperature is like before you actually just dive in and then, try your best to accommodate yourself. That is, I mean, adjust your body for the temperature. Well, enough said, but talking about Influence CHEMIN, they have been picked up. Those are 2 teams already which are out of the lobby. We have 14 more teams left in which we're able to see a lot of rotations happening currently. I really want to see the map right now and want to see on what is the location of all the teams out there. And for now, talking about Zebra Master, they are definitely having a very, very, very good spot.
Wow, that's amazing, man. To be precise, finding from the Prismog region, a lot of teams have to change their perspective. Team Predators specifically, they have looted the Fairpay region. Now they're pretty much focused on Query, and after the Query region, they might actually shift towards a little bit towards the Katka region. And in terms of shifting, there are some teams which can come up in the close quarters. For example, it could be Knife and Skull, which might rotate and maybe get stabbed as well at the same time. But yes, 2 of the teams which are having the highest man advantage and the frags as well, it's going to be Knife and Skull. And along with that, it's Team The Predators, which have got 4 frags, and the 4-man power is also surviving. The 2 teams which are out of the equation is going to be Influence CHEMIN and Smoke as well. These are the 2 big teams which are already out of equation. So looking forward to see what is going to happen in the next upcoming close quarter. And as we were talking about in the previous stages, when the zone was forming eventually, that the area of Georgiapool and the surrounding areas like Georgiapool, North City is going to be very, very important, because that's the most centric part of the particular play zone. So definitely a lot of teams have already decided to rotate here for speed. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry I cut you off there, but I really wanted to know from your end, if you're the one who's going to play this particular game out there against all these teams, would you prefer playing from the edge or from the center?
Definitely will go for the edge because center of attraction is going to be there as a big factor. And I don't know, for my team, I don't have a specific team for PUBG or BGMI, whatever you want to call it out. But the thing is, I'm never going to trust my teammates in a way that they are easily going to just compensate everything that is going to come in this kind of lobby. So I would go for the safer approach where I can control the things a bit more. The thing is, when you are actually playing on the safer approach, like on the edges, you know that there is nobody who's going to backstab you. You know that the zone is actually going to run along with you. And apart from that, you know that your utilities are pretty much ready. You are not going to burst out your helmets and stuff like that. When you are in the center of attraction, maybe you are actually going to have a decent compound in your favor. But the thing is, in those compounds, there are going to be a lot of shots coming in front of you. And those shots are easily going to tag your body, your vest, your teammates, your vehicles, and stuff like that. So there is always going to be a sense of pressure on you that we might actually go down, or my vehicle might actually go down, and my rotations might be skeptical enough. So I would actually specifically, individually, as per my own subjective decision, I would actually go for the safer approach. The edge is one.
Well said. But again, see, then you will have to not only battle against the teams against you, but also against the play zone itself. It's always going to be a constant pressure out there. But now the pressure is being created from the Inco Gaming side. They are definitely holding the compounds and also trying to cover the other sides of it, making sure that there's no gap or the angle that they have not checked. But for now, there are no clear visions of the opponent. But I'm able to see that cute little guy there. Oh, okay. He's kind of teasing the guy there. But well, the zone is again shifting towards the northwestern side. Even now, I believe that the Georgia Pole areas are definitely going to be a place where you want to see yourself. But there are teams which are almost to the northern sides itself, quite in the corner. Just like how Raider you were telling on how you would actually play the game. I guess they're able to hear you out.
The thing is that the objection that you pointed out, that we have to run along the zone as well. I mean, the zone is actually going to pick up a pressure on us.
Yes.
I would like to counter it in a way that you know when the zone is going to rotate, and you know when the timer is going to hit at 00 seconds, and you know how to rotate it if you are on an edge. But if you are in a centric compound, a lot of teams are going to pressurize you. Even if you know that the zone is coming, you won't be able to rotate. You are actually going to get forced either to go out and get your players done, get your players finished off, or maybe get stabbed from the back. A lot of things can go south if you are playing in the center part of POV. I, as an individual or my team, would love to play on the edges. We can take the chances of getting pressurized by the play zone, but I would never take the chances of getting pressurized by multiple teams at the same time, because that is not just going to create the panic, but also going to create also going to diminish every possibility of a rotation and having some utilities. Because if you are on edge, you can go for other compounds and maybe have some good utilities. A lot of people are saying that slow down a bit. Okay guys, we'll go for a slower approach if you guys are unable to understand. But yeah, definitely this is a match which is going to ignite a new battle, a new sense of approach coming from these teams. Looking forward to it, how far these guys are actually going to be there. EYC Gaming, that's the team which is sitting at slot number 5. Still waiting for the right opportunity. They're trying to scope around, maybe figure out where the fights are going to be there. Psych, the casters name are, my name is Raider, along with me it's on desk Echo Boy. So Raider and Echo Boy are the two guys who are casting for the whole event for you guys. I hope so that you are actually going to enjoy the casting and stuff like that. But meanwhile, if I talk about the zone shift, it is coming towards the shooting range, and look at that, a beautiful shift indeed is coming up. We have got BT Talent, Killer Zada, and the other members also surviving in the shooting range vicinity. They are pretty much on the centric path, but the thing is, they are pretty much secluded, or should I say separated, so that can be a very effective chance coming from Inco's corner. They can easily go ahead and stab them out.
Well, see, because you know what, I just got distracted. I was paying attention to the people who are watching us, and they actually want us to be a bit slower. It looks like they don't really are able to catch up with what we are trying to say. We'll slow down a bit. We will try to make sure that you enjoy the game, and as well as enjoy on what we are trying to tell you, because the game is quite exciting, but not when you guys don't understand us. But coming back to the game itself, Rise Esports, Nuns, they were definitely trying to shoot few bullets on their opponents. Nothing significant for now, but the position that they're holding is quite important, because I was definitely able to see a lot of teams in the south side of this particular map and they will definitely have to rotate from this one and only bridge which is currently inside the zone. But from the other side, I'm able to see EYC Diego. Will he be able to spot the players, or will he get spotted and knocked off? That's a question.
Will the knockouts come? Will they be able to find those finishes? That's a big question for now. 100 Souls, that's a beautiful team name. But on the other corner, seems like that Solitoy is going to pick one more out of the equation. The knockouts are coming in. Solitoy also gets traded off. Another big guy has been taken down. And don't worry, guys, we are trying to actually initiate with the much more slower pace and the clear one, to be precise. But Zebra Master, that's the team name they're trying to rotate. Although they were able to lose one good guy of the team, the remaining members have to find out an angle where they can survive, thrive, maybe pull some points. Alpha 7, another beautiful team whose votes are looking decent, I believe. Let me check it out. 87% of you guys are voting that Alpha 7 is the one team that you are supporting. That's amazing. That's amazing, to be precise. Go ahead and support your favorite teams, guys. Meanwhile, we have got another options like Influence came in is there. Oh, the shot was there, but Zebra Masters, Rafa fails to connect it. This was a very big opportunity for this guy. If the shots would have been there, if he would have been able to take them down, that could have been a very game changer type of moment for the team. But no, it didn't happen. Zebra Master now have to rotate, find another angle, maybe find another gap from which they can fight back. 100 Souls on the other corner is also trying to rotate, and look at those shots coming from Rafa's corner. He's pretty much outside the play zone. He's got the 3 first aid kits, 1 med kit, 1 energy drink, and 1 painkiller as well. I don't know how far they're going to push through, but this is a very amazing fight is actually going to be there. Let me go hats off to both of you. Very energetic. Thank you, Syke. Thank you. Thank you. We are trying our best to give you the best thing that you guys want. And as a caster, would love to fulfill your hopes. On the other corner, EYC. Oh, Adrian is not looking good. He is getting attacked often. Rise Nunes on the other corner gets a nade and was able to pop one out. And that was Team 100 Souls member.
See, right now, about talking about the current situation, we have 3 teams over here. One which is at the edge, the second one which is quite on a better position right now because they have the hard compounds. They can definitely use use those compounds for themselves where they can heal. But Nunes, is he going to get knocked? Yes. Well, I was about to complete that statement, but Moral letting me actually stop myself, and he definitely got some gun action, some gun game going on. He got him picked, and I'm sure he's going to get that finish point confirmed for himself. But the team souls that we are looking into, 100 souls, aren't they quite widespread for to be playing in the corner of the zone when they know that there are a lot of teams which are going to gatekeep them?
Precisely. I mean, their spread is not looking good. The way they are fighting, I guess they are creating multiple flanks, multiple angles for themselves, but that is not helping them out, to be honest. Apart from that, if we talk about other angles like Loop Esports, I wasn't able to see them in the previous battles, but for now, yes, Loop Esports is having a very beautiful advantage of having 2 kills. They have got the 2 eliminations that was required, and now that is going to give them the kind of motivation, or should I say the sense or the urge of having more and more frags. Let's see how far they're going to go. Meanwhile, if we talk about GZ, that is the team once again having a lot of flanking situation, but EYC finally manages to push forward. A nade is getting cooked up. That nade can impact quite a bit, but no, it was not a fruitful one. An easy takedown indeed, and that's how in just a split second, I believe now the compound is in the favor of EYC Esports. And yes, EYC Adrian has been taken down. We have got Pencado, we have got Ciliana, and Diego is as well there. But I highly doubt at this point EYC will be able to survive. The reason is pretty much similar, that there are 2 members of EYC Esports which are in the compound, but the other 2 members are pretty much outside. Out of them, one guy is already taken down, the another one are trying their level best to survive. Big Head, don't worry about the maps. He will show you the map whenever the shift comes in. Just to avoid the stream sniping issue and stuff like that, we wanted to provide the fair gameplay. There is a delay of 2 minutes as well on the stream in order to provide the best part, or should I say a fair environment for these guys as well, so that the competition should be justified. But yeah, moving forward, let's see how the fights are going to be there. You guys just ended the Hindi casting, now you guys are casting in English. Appreciated, man. Much respect and love. Thank you. That's a huge appreciation from your corner. That's a huge appreciation.
I think Raider should be taking all the credits because I'm quite new here right now.
It's okay, man.
But yeah, hats off to you. I just heard from the management side and also from your side, that is that you've been up all day casting multiple languages and multiple streams, but well, let's talk about the game right now. Black Dragons, they have definitely in a very good position for themselves. They are able to see a lot of players out in the open, but Alpha 7 0 kill, wanting to go for that knock, but in turn gets himself knocked. Alpha 7 is definitely not looking good. Just 2 players surviving, and oh my, oh my, oh my. Raider, I'm sure these players are able to hear you out, but looking at the way the players are in the corner, in the edges, it's going to be a really, really difficult ride for them inside the zone. But talking about the fights, Inco Gaming getting some action for themselves, able to knock one player, looking for more, a 1v2 situation for with Charlie, that's the name, I believe. But how long is he going to survive is a big question. But if
That's Vital IGM.
Right? It's Vital. Okay.
Vital IGM, yeah.
Vital IGN.
IGM, that's the clan tag, I guess, from the backend.
Right.
Because the other members also had the same team, na? So anyway, and on the backfights, if I talk about Vital, his HP is not looking good, but definitely he's surviving. Mandrakes on the other corner has been taken down. Rise is also trying to push forward. Loops, look at that. The DBSs are open. They're completely trying to rip apart whoever is going to be in front of them.
What?
Oh, he is actually using 6x with the DBS. Exactly. I was also blown to bits about these things. But let's see how far they are actually going to come up. Oh, GZM Esports finally done and dusted out of the equation. It's all over for them, but Inco are still surviving. The last man standing, to be specific, is actually surviving, but it's a 1v4 situation to be precise. Look at that, he has been ripped apart out of the lobby. Inco Gaming finally gets shut down. Oh, XTEAM, of course, that's lovely, but indeed he was unable to survive for another brief moment. Papa kill, the last man standing. Can he bring back the glory for the team? He has to do another beautiful 1v1, and if he is able to do so, that would be it. And yes, he does. No, from the back end another team comes in. Just like that, the takeouts are coming in. EYC Gaming has been eliminated. I believe another team was actually eliminated. That was XTEAM. A lot of teams are getting shattered. This is the 5th zone. Oh man, what a credible fight indeed is coming up in the lobby.
That was not acceptable. Come on, give that man some space to breathe. He wanted to celebrate that. His team wanted to celebrate that, but not given an opportunity from far behind. Gets spotted, gets shot down, and he's going to get eliminated. But I'm really happy for that squad. That squad definitely got 3 finishes for themselves before getting eliminated. We're talking about who is alive right now. KS looking too strong. 9 finishes for themselves. And another airdrop getting looted. I wonder if somebody's going to use an AWM in this small particular zone. But KS just took the name. Caster's Curse. I must say, trash taken down. Another player getting spotted. 100 souls. Inside the zone, quite comfortable. Able to spot the people who are at the corner, at the edge, that is. Morel trying to get inside with that buggy. Will he be able to get it done is a big question, because his players are getting knocked one after the other.
Exactly, that's the case. But the thing is, Bonila and Hassan, you guys are telling us that Alpha 7 is not having their main roster. It happens, guys. It happens. They might be pretty much occupied in another stuff. But the thing is, they have sent their another roster. They have sent their another lineup. And that is representing the Alpha 7. So we'll talk about them as in terms of Alpha 7. So yeah, for now, 4 finishes from their corner. They are also doing a very decent job. Although they might not be the main roster for the team. But the thing is, they have gathered 4 frags. They are in the top 6. What more can you ask from them? And apart from that, yes, another big clash is going to be there. Another big fight is going to be there. And Memecast, Raider and Divine casting from 8:30. Love you, bro. The thing is, I'm here, Raider. I'm actually here, but Divine is going to be replaced by Echo Boy because this is an English casting, and Divine does only Hindi for now. But anyway, on the back end, if we talk about Predator, oh, the spottation is done. Alpha 7 is not looking good, and yes, Alpha 7 finally, all the talks are going to stop. It's done for Alpha 7 Esports in this particular matchup at #6. They have been eliminated. I don't know, a lot more of points could have been there if the survival was there from that particular team. But it happens, guys. Things can change quite rapidly in this game. Black Dragons are pushing forward. Let's see, can they go and take down everybody in the lobby, because they have got the manpower and they are the one which is having the highest manpower, to be precise. It's a 4v2v2v2 situation coming in. And another big team that has been taken on is going to be Rise Esports. Rise Esports' downfall is already here, as you can see.
Well, talking about who survives, that is going to be just 4 teams right now. All on our screens. not a single team right now with, okay, I must correct myself, we have a team with 4 players alive, and I'm sure they're going to have an upper advantage right now, because when you have 4 players in such a small space, you can spread yourselves,
Mhm.
cover all the angles, try to take one team after the other, because you have the advantage out there. But do they actually know that they are the only team with the man advantage? Because sometimes that is a situation where even after having the man advantage, probably you are getting picked from 2 to 3 teams together. But talking about Black Dragons, they are going to get themselves proned. Sirol, if I'm not wrong, gets himself I mean, for now. Ratu Boy, is that the name? Ratu Boy. Okay, he gets in. He wanted to get a knock. Did he? No, it's somebody from the behind. For sure, getting Zebra Masters eliminated. Now it's a situation where we have a 1 versus 2 versus 4. Who's going to get this one?
A tough fight indeed, but seems like that it won't be possible for the guys which are not having the manpower, to be specific. If we talk about team number 21 and if we talk about team 17, both of those teams are lacking the manpower that is required to have a beautiful winner chicken dinner. Although they might be able to dish out the damage that is required, but look at that. Cornithians, their survival is pretty much on the way good corner. But oh, that was an interesting pick. 100 souls are not going to survive any time longer because one good guy has been taken down from the back end. It's Black
This is what I was
Dragons
talking.
summing up the deal, and it's 100 souls who has been eliminated with only 5 frags for now. Seems like that we are going to move on for the Cornithians. Let's see Cornithians versus it's Black Dragons. Let's see who's going to survive for now.
Well, I guess the survival is definitely going to be from the sides of Black Dragons, because they have the man advantage. They know where the players are. They're already charging in. There's a nade that is going through. But will that nade connect? Will it do some specific damage that is required? Not really. Black Dragons, having the man advantage, easily swipes this one for themselves. A winner chicken dinner for Black Dragons. I really want to check on how many finishes they have gathered for them. But an easy one, piece of cake that I would say. They had the man advantage, they did the rotations right, and Black Dragons, they're going to be really happy with this one.
It's done, guys. Black Dragons with a beautiful match in their favor. Although I don't know how many finishes they had, because that could impact quite a bit in the leaderboard. We have seen in the previous battle as well in the South Asian Scrims that a team which is having the winner chicken is not going to be on top. The reason is pretty much simple, that they didn't have the right amount of finishes. But for now, yes, all said and done, it's Black Dragons who is going to have the advantage of winning this first match. But let's see how far they will be able to go, how far their wings are going to get stretched up, and what kind of impact they are actually going to bring there in the lobby. If they are going to be consistent, that could be a very beautiful stance for the day. 4 more matches are left, and the week's prize pool is $300, as we were talking about it earlier. I would love to emphasize on that, because there is a huge chunk of prize pool. Apart from that, it's a bragging rights of winning this tournament with this event, to be precise. But yes, remember, the team which is going to bag out the first position is going to be the team Black Dragons. They are at #1 with 7 eliminations and 10 position points. That means a bomber of 17 points. 17-point chicken dinner is already here, coming from team Black Dragons corner. That's amazing. Damages of 1117. That's also decent enough, but I guess we can expect a bit more.
See, right now, it's a good start for them. They just have to now ensure that they are not going all out. They are not going too aggressive. They just maintain this momentum and carry this forward for all weeks and all matches that is going to happen for today, tomorrow, and the weeks coming up. But talking about this particular game itself, winner chicken dinner for Black Dragons. 3 finishes for this particular player over here, Zadai. Am I getting his name right? Zadai, Riku, Challenge, and Sirol. So that's 3 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1. That's the amount of finishes that this particular team and these particular individuals have taken for themselves. But heading forward, we are definitely wanting to have some vision on the details that I guess a lot of people want to know. Raider has been specifying it for a really long time, but I guess finally we'll be able to show it to all our audience currently. $300 of worth that this particular week is going to be. 5 matches in a day, and we are going to have 3 days in a week that is going to happen. But teams to watch for Raider. Black Dragons, we already saw them. They definitely had a good action for themselves. We were having names like Influence, CHEMIN, and Alpha 7, but those are not the teams to be watched for now.
I mean, Influence came in, was wiped out quite early. and in the Prismark region to be precise. So that was a big loss for that team particularly. But for now, if we talk about the teams to watch, these are the 4 teams which have to be watched out by the respective other teams to be precise if they want to come back, if they want to gain some decent advantage in this particular tournament. Remember Black Dragons, they were able to secure the winner chicken dinner. That was a 17-point bomber. Apart from that, if we talk about the MVP, that's going to be coming from Loops. It's Chief who has got 3 eliminations, damage of 604. Throwables used were 2, assist was 1. So that's amazing. Chief did an absolutely amazing job of having those 3 eliminations. Although, yes, my expectations are going to be slightly higher. I would love to see them performing exceptionally well in the near future. Let's see what kind of impact they are going to bring to the lobby. But yes, this was the MVP coming from Loops Esports. It's Chief with 3 finishes, as I was talking about. Remember, this is just the MVP for the day number 1, match number 1. There are a lot more matches to be precise, 14 more matches to go. But this is a graph that shows the consistency between the eliminations and damage.
So now when we come to the eliminations and damage, there's a lot of times that what happens is that you are definitely able to knock the player, but that player is either in a really good position that he gets a revival, or your finish is just stolen away. So to get a player down with the entire health bar that there is, you have to give him a damage of 100. So looking at the damages and finish ratios for Black Dragons, it was 1117 against 7 finishes that they had. A lot of knocks, a lot of damage that they did penetrate against their enemies, but only 7 finishes for themselves. But nevertheless, looking forward to the match ranking of day 1, match 1 of E-ERANGEL, Black Dragons, and then we have Corinthians, and then the Knife and Skull. 10, 6. Oh, so somebody has done an amazing job with the total eliminations of 9, and in the name of 9, Knife and Skull. So that's 17 points, 13 points, and 10 points. Then we have Honored Skulls, Loop Esports, Alpha 7, Team Predators, XTEAM, Rice Esports, Zebra Master, EYC Gaming, and then we have Mandrakes Esports, GZM Esports, Smoke Esports, Influence CHEMIN, and Inco Gaming. So now the point difference is not quite significant to say that this particular week or this particular day is going to be one-sided from Black Dragons as to what their first game was. It was an easy chicken dinner for them. But I'm going to have my fingers crossed for more action. I want this to be a tight packed action itself, Raider.
Exactly, we want to see that action-packed momentum coming up in the lobby. Definitely rooting for that for now. But if I talk about the highest elimination, that came from 100 Souls. That was Redo Boy with the 4 eliminations. If I talk about the highest amount of damage, it was coming from Loop's Chief. If I talk about the highest assist, that was from KSS Kazuto. And when it comes to the highest healing ton, it was from KSS Moralex R. So that is also amazing. 605 is the right amount of healing that he was able to do. Highest knockouts also was coming from the favor of Loop's Chief. So these are the match summaries. These are the individual players' performance that we were talking about. And thanks, Syke, once again for that lovely support, man. Keep on showing that. Keep on supporting Ruthless Esports. Keep on supporting them. And then only we will be able to go for the heights that you are actually talking about. But match stats are here. 59 total eliminations. 8,056 is the total healing, 57 knockouts are there, 196 variables have been used, 2 rounds been looted, 13 total headshots. After that, we have got 13 rescues as well. But it's Kazuto who had the longest elimination distance. That's the 307-meter distance.
See, we definitely always love to talk about the long elimination, is it? Right, because well, that gets exciting. I really like the way players are able to spot somebody so far away with those scopes that they have. I myself have got an elimination of about 287 meters, and that was quite far. I thought that was the longest that could be. But looking at that 307 meters, that's definitely interesting to be looking into. But a small break, guys, a small break, and even after that particular break, we are going to show you all the details that is necessary for you to understand on what is going to happen in this Ruthless Hype Esports presenting PUBG Mobile Pro Scrims for the Brazil region, but all after a short break.
All right, back again with the meta of the PUBG Mobile Pro Scrims representing the Brazil. It's day number 1, match number 2 is about to happen. I believe that could be in the map of Miramar, but definitely the first match was quite a bumpy one, to be honest. There was not a jump, not a huge jump to be precise, coming from Black Dragons, and not a huge gap that was delivered by Knife and Skulls. Although Knife and Skulls didn't had a lot of points, but let's see what the details are all about. Let's see what kind of impact is going to be there. Well, let's see what is the initiation. But at the first position, I believe we have got the point system, point distribution table. Echo, I go with it.
See, now this is going to be the most important factor that I would actually want to talk about. Last year we had 15 points for the chicken dinner, but this year we have 10 points for the chicken dinner. That is the team who is going to stand till the last is going to secure only 10 points, followed by which a 4-point difference with 6 points in the second one. Third has 5, fourth has 4, fifth has 3. So there's not much of a difference after the third position. So what this actually brings in for the teams is that you have to go for those finishes. That is going to be quite important. But over to you, Raider. Explain the tournament format, because I guess you are the best at it.
I mean, this is the tournament calendar that shows you that which are the specific dates that you have to be pretty much ready with the devices, with the nets and stuff like that, because these are the few dates where the events are actually going to happen. You can see that 9, 10th and 11th, that is today, tomorrow and day after tomorrow is going to be the week number 1. Week number 2 will start on 16th Feb, 16, 17, 18th. Consecutively for 3 days we are going to witness another beautiful week number 2, which will have $300 prize pool. Apart from that, when it comes to week 3, at that moment, from 23rd Feb to 25th Feb, for 3 straight days we are going to witness another beautiful week number 3 of that particular fights. But now, moving up ahead for the today's match, week number 1's, day number 1's, match number 2 is going to happen in the map of Miramar, as we were talking about it. And the first match, well, it was in the hands of Black Dragons in the map of Erangel. Now the second one is going to start in Miramar.
We have Erangel, Miramar, Erangel, Miramar, and Erangel. So we have more weightage to the Erangel map. Now, since the teams have already played Erangel, they are definitely aware about where their opponents are taking drops, where the entire situation is going to be for them, and how things are going to work out for them in the second map of Erangel. But having Miramar being the first time of this particular scrims of this particular day, I'm going to expect a lot of drop clashes, where Los Leones is one place I'm looking forward to, and Picardo will be the second one. But in about 35 seconds, we will get the answer to all my questions that there is. But Raider, I have a question for you.
Go for it.
Are we going to cross the 307 meter long distance kill in this particular game?
Yeah, we are.
If not, we should actually have a bet, actually.
What kind of bet, man? Let it be. I guess, yes, we are going to witness that kind of clash, but definitely I would not actually go for a bet. But let's see what happens in this one, because we are left with only 5 seconds more to go, and then after that, that beautiful flight path is going to come in, and with that countdown being there, I believe the anticipation is going to be on par. But look at that, the flight path gets started. I believe it is going to start from the back end areas, the southern one. Los Angeles could be pretty much close to it. Picardo is for sure going to be the centric region of this flight path. And along with that, yes, exactly, that's a flight path from Los Angeles to Picardo to La Cobreria. An interesting flight path indeed.
Well, the flight path is definitely interesting. It is not exactly, but at least dividing this map into 2 particular halves. The problem with the map of Erangel, Miramar as compared to Erangel, or I must say the situation, not a problem that is, but the situation that is between Miramar and Erangel is the play area. The landmass area of Miramar is definitely higher or more as compared to Erangel, where Erangel is bringing in a 60s to 40 ratio of land and water. Miramar is bringing about 80s to 20. So now there are a little bit of decimals going on, but I'm just rounding it off as a whole. But this particular flight trajectory is definitely something which is going to be great. Well, I'm a bit confused now. Could I get some help, Raider?
It's interesting to see this kind of fight are going to be there, but let's see where the situations are going to get tallied up, to be honest. But yeah, there we go, the flight path is here. It's interesting to see that teams are actually jumping in La Cobreria region. Apart from that, if we talk about Los Leones, that is going to be a very critical location where fights might actually come in. But seems like that the PUBG gods are trying their level best to actually give the teams a favorable spot in this map
Yeah.
of Miramar. But Picardo, welcome to Picardo, is going to be the lovely situation coming in. Although it's much more relatable when it comes to the Indian subcontinent. But yes, in this particular situation, you can see that Arena is there, where from team Smoke, I believe some players are jumping. And on the other corner, we have got in the red building another beautiful team that is going to be team number 11 or team 14. That could be it. The casino is also pretty much occupied. But
I guess
apart from
that's
that, I believe
Influence Gaming or
it
Inco
could
Gaming.
it could be.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is
it's
Inco
Inco.
Gaming.
It's Inco.
Yeah,
It's Inco.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
amazing. Let's see. Smoke versus Inco. It could be quite interesting. 16 teams are there, 64 players are surviving. But VSS, after a very long period,
No,
VSS is finally coming on. Yeah.
no, that's not coming on. That's just the gun that he has got, and I guess he
Okay.
has to survive with it. This is what I actually love about the initial battle out there. You have to battle with what you have. You do not get to choose your favorites. You just have to select one thing, and that is survival. And for that survival, whatever you get in hand, and that is going to be your weapon, and that's going to be the best that you have to make out from, make use of from. That is.
Precisely. I mean, when you don't have the right guns, then also you have to fight back. So obviously, you have to make a right call of using that gun, which is pretty much close to you, and putting up every single effort that is required. But look at that, pretty much close to a fight. It seems like that Netos can be taken up, but he falls back because he knew his gun is not that on point. What he has got is just a VSS along with that S1987. Although S1987 is a very critical gun, one shot of that particular gun can easily take the enemy down. But the thing is, that shot should be precise. It should be on point. The aim should be perfect, and then only those shots are going to be there. And these are the few variables I think Netos didn't want to play with.
Huh. See, now right now, what I'm able to see as Raider, we have a situation where both the teams are in a 3-1 split. And both of these teams are having a very similar strategy that there is. Any of the team pushes, the flanker is definitely going to play a really important role to manage that particular push that is coming against this team. But what if the push is from the side where there is no player, there's no flanker present? That's a situation to be looking into. But for now, Becker, he's also going to be waiting as to how we both are waiting for this action to start. But I would want to look into the map until before this begins. I really want to see on what the other teams are doing and how the game for them is going to go on. I really want to see if there are other teams which are nearby. But for now, there's just a lot of open scope, close scope, crouch, uncrouch movement that is going to be there. Smoke, Chuna, or Kuna. That there is. He has a good loot for himself, but his counterpart that is in the name of Smoke Nito, he only has a level 1 helmet. Please, God, just give him some loot.
I mean, the loots are not going to be as easy to fetch because he has to rotate, he has to find those angles where the loots might be there. But in order to do that, obviously things can go south. His rotation can be countered. And Memecast, we are praying for Syria and Turkey, the earthquake that was there. We are praying for everybody, but it happens, guys. What can we do at that point? Eventually, we can just support, and we already donated from our end. Let's see what happens. Although, yes, it's a very devastating blow to the economy and the other stuff like that, the livelihood and the livestock. So can't say a bit more about that because it obviously demotivates us as a person. That's not a thing we want to talk about on this particular tournament page. But for now, let's see what happens between Rise Esports and the other teams which are pretty much close to them. SCCP, another beautiful team. A lot of players are supporting here, and that's amazing. I would love to see what they are actually going to bring to the table. 13 points is already there in their hands. KS is also there. And remember, the team which is on top is not going to play for this match because their group shuffle is not going to be there. This is the battle between group A, B, C, and D. So let's see how far they will be able to stretch out the competition, what kind of impact these guys are actually going to bring. Black Dragons are not present in the lobby. That's a great opportunity for all the other teams which are still lurking at hashtag 3 or 4 position to just come back and eventually take the first position out of their hands.
See, now, right now, Raider, I guess our audience would need more clarity on why we do not have the same teams playing. So, guys, here it is. We actually have divided all the teams into groups, and not all teams are going to play. I mean, not all groups are always going to play all the maps in a single day. So the way the structure is that on a given single week, we have 3 days, and on a given single day, we have about 6 matches, if I'm not wrong. And those 6 matches, okay, there are 5 matches. So I'm assuming that every group gets to play 3 matches a day, 3 to 4, if I'm not wrong. And saying that every team is going to get equal number of opportunities, and they are going to play the equal number of matches that there is, and they will have to prove themselves on why they are worthy for that $300 prize pool of this particular week and the weeks to come. But talking about the game itself again, guys, if there is any other more clarity, we will definitely provide that. But for now, Alpha 7 Esports, we definitely had a lot of debate on if it's a new roster, if it is a old one. I believe it's fairly new because I've heard about Zero's kill, but was he in Alpha 7 is something which I'm not sure about. But for now, this is the lineup, ladies and gentlemen. Alpha 7, Peter, Zero Kill, Makwina, and Mato. These are going to be representing Alpha 7, at least for this particular Ruthless pro scrims that there is. Loot, good enough. The area that they are in, good enough. But I'm still not able to find a vehicle that they have, or they possibly don't have.
I mean, having these vehicles in terms of rotations is going to be very important. If they don't have those vehicles, that rotation can be quite devastating. But from the back end, I've got the confirmation that we have 4 matches each day for each individual team. So that's good enough. 4 matches in a single day is easily going to give the bump that is required. And eventually that comes up to a certain situation where I believe the teams are going to get only 12 matches in the whole 3 days of scenario that is there in the impacting fights. So that's good. 12 matches, and in those 12 matches, after playing 12 matches, they are easily going to get the chunk of $300 if they're going to be on top. And anxiously, Baluch, I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. I'm praying for them as well. But for now, if we talk about Knife and Skull,
Who are you praying? Sorry, I'm lost.
actually, there was a earthquake in Turkey and Syria, na?
Oh yes, I've heard about it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Coming back to the teams, 16 teams, 64 players are surviving. Seems like that we didn't run any kind of fights, but now, as we were talking about it, Team Predators are getting affected. Player 4 from that particular team is already down. Player 5 is also knocked out. That shows that the upfront enemy is looking quite chaotic, and the first frag is already there. That was Flag Jante, if I'm not wrong, who was able to take him out. But the carnated shots are going in. He was about to tag him, but eventually it was not that easy. 2 frags coming in. I guess the players were trying to travel with the buggy, but they got stopped on the toll tax of this particular situation. But with that, Flamingo Esports, let's see how far they will be able to go, because they're also in a very open scenario. Things can change for them, versatility, and yes, that's the exact thing I was worried about. That if you are actually trying to tag a guy in an open space, remember, there is going to be another team which is going to put you down.
We have 3 teams in the equation right now, but talking about this particular player, Red, he has to do a 1v3. Will he be able to do that? No is the answer. Team Predators, a good start in the first game, but not so good in the second one. A player loss for them. I really want to see on where the other players are right now. But talking about this, yes, okay, we have them on the screen. Team Predators, right now, they are definitely going to, regroup themselves and make sure to play together than, spread out and go on individuals for, checking out the entire zone and all of that. But EYC is also getting into some action, and I definitely want to see on what they are doing, because the live status right now is saying me that they are 4-man strong, and they've already picked 2 people for themselves. I mean, they have got 2 finishes.
Whoa, on the other hand, it's Smoke which is trying to pop out. Smoke is actually building some good points for themselves. Let's see how far they will be able to go. On the other corner, seems like that Sci-Fi Esports is also there, but this is the Picardo situation that we were talking about. And exactly, you are actually looking at a beautiful cash coming in. Oh, that was absolutely amazing. Methans was able to take one down. It is looking like that Inco Esports is falling like a bit of card. Let's see what is going to happen. Okay, Squash is going to cook up a nade. That could be a very credible nade coming in. It can easily impact the guy, but no, it was unable to, I guess, give that impact that was required. On the other corner, the revival is coming in, but eventually the guy that had to be take the fight, that had to take the fight to be precise, was pretty much stuck beyond the guy which was trying to take the revival. So that was not that good, to be honest. But on the back end, some shots are coming in. Zebra Master also gets eliminated. That's the first team which has been taken down, which has been completely shut down. But now I believe the Banters will come in.
Oh, yes. But smoke, smoke, smoke. Good for them. Good for them is what I have right now. They have 2 finishes, and they are having one player knocked from their side of the team. The revival should be fair and fairly easy, that is, and yes, that will be executed. That will be given. He will be able to patch himself up. We'll be able to see some 2v4 action, but the zone. You see, this is what I love about the game. You cannot stay in the same area for a really long time. If you have an enemy, you have to find an angle, find a way, build a strategy as quick as possible. Because if not, the game is going to give you some direction to build one.
See, for now, Inco is getting a lot of support from the live chat as well. So definitely Inco has to come back even strong at this point. It seems like that the second zone is going to be quite credible, quite important. And thanks to our production team, we are going to get the insight where the third zone is going to be there. And look at that, it's Monte Nuovo, which is going to be the biggest compound in that particular area. Apart from that, seems like that KS is going to be the team which is pretty much centric in that particular circle, but it's a very open compound where they are actually at the current position. If we talk about INF, they have to rotate. Along with INF, we have Inco as well in the closed circuit. So definitely rooting for a specific team for now is going to be a little bit more difficult. But Smoke and the other guys have to rotate. And look at that. Smoke's one member has got the MK14. We all know MK14 is very lovely. Even I used to use dual MK14. And with that on the auto mode, eventually the recoil control is way too hard. But then again, if you connect 1 or 2 bullets, the HP is going to be depleted so fast that the enemy won't be able to just stand in front of you while taking the shots. But meanwhile, if we talk about Sci-Fi Esports, we have got Lenin 777. We have got all the other members which are also trying to rotate. But let's see what happens between these guys, because team number 21 is also in the close quarter. It's a beautiful battle coming up to an end. Very soon the clashes will be there. Just 2 minutes more to go, and after that the third zone will shrink in.
See, the zone is going to play a really important factor on how the fights are going to turn up to be. But for now, Zero Kill, really low on HP. He has a 1v2 situation. Will he be able to do that is a question. No will be the answer. He will be taken down. Alpha 7 now remaining just 2 in number. Maquina and Peter on a buggy, finding themselves a good spot in the zone. But EYC is fairly happy. They have quite a lot of finishes for them. And Pankada, is that the name? 3 finishes. Well, that name is something which I will like to memorize, because he's on a roll right now. But Diago, his counterpart, not so far behind, 2 finishes that he has, and he has spotted few more enemies, and he's trying to get few more finishes for himself. But we have a DMR. Raider, if you remember, we definitely spoke a lot about the DMR versus the bolt action, but the meta says DMR. The players have DMR, but there is also M249 with the 3 times. Oh my god.
Wow, man, look at that. The impacts that is coming in. That's amazing. M249, that's definitely the gun that you don't want to use in the long range or the mid range. But eventually, if that is the only gun that you have, I guess you can go with it. You can eventually try. It has a lot of ammo, so it's not like you are going to reload it pretty soon, or you have to just go ahead for the bolt action type of scenario where you have to cock after shooting eventually even a single bullet. So that's not the case. You can go for it, but eventually those burst shots are not going to be that effective. Maybe because the recoil is there. Apart from that, Rise Esports, after having 2 good frags, they're currently trying to figure out an angle from which they can rotate and meanwhile also suppress the urge of Team Smoke that is actually trying to push forward. Let's see what happens, what kind of impact is going to be there. But apart from that, seems like that another beautiful zone is about to come to an end. Oh, that's amazing. That's interesting. Case along with Rise Esports is going to get advantage of this particular play zone, but all the other teams coming from Monte are not going to surpass. I mean, see, this is the meta that Miramar is actually going to have. Whenever you think that there's a compound in the circle, except Los Unos or Picardo, it's not actually going to go over there in the last few zones. The compound is the circle is obviously going to form in an open region. Even in the 8 circle, the hard shift can come in. So definitely that is the reason I actually often say that go for the open areas, go for those areas where you can defend, where you can survive a bit more. Don't never go for the compounds, because once you are in a compound and the 5th and 6th, 7 hits, you're not even be able to secure a positioning out of it. But SCCP at this point is now getting shattered. Look at that. Oh, finally the closure is done. SCCP has as a whole team has been taken down. It's Corinthians who has been completely shut down. EYC is supposed to be precise, 10 finishes from their corner. That's the highest from the previous battle as well. Definitely looking quite strong. EYC, let's see what kind of points they are actually going to build, because in the previous battle they had only 3 or 4 points. In this one, they're definitely looking quite strong.
See, Raider, I actually want to, do some math here. There were 64 players in the lobby. We have 4 of these guys itself, and apart from which, the lobby count right now was 45. So that is 41 players remaining. So 19 players have been eliminated, and 10 finishes are with this particular squad. What are they? They definitely have to hold themselves a bit. I mean, I don't really want them to do that, but the momentum that they have built, I'm quite happy, and I really want them to be carrying. Right now in the leaderboard, the overall standing, they are at #2, but I believe if they're going to continue with this, well, Influence CHEMIN heard me, right? And there's a player already picked off.
Well, there we go. The picks are coming up. Indeed, the fights are going to be quite critical. Look at that. INF on the other corner pops one out. It's EYC, which is actually facing a lot of wrath. After showing that kind of decimation, now they're coming up to the crosshairs of every single other guy that is present in the lobby. And that is the reason. Look at that. EYC is really coming up to a shutdown situation. If we talk about Team X, we have got Papa Kill in the scenario. We have got Sci-Fi's Lenin 777 who's going to pop one out of Alpha 7. That means Alpha 7 is once again at a question. The last one standing from Alpha 7 also gets completely depleted at #13. 0 frags from their corner. It's done and dusted for the team. And apart from that, if we talk about Mandrake Esports, look at that. Mandrake is actually on top. We have got guys like Gods, and yes, Godzin was able to take one down. And the Brazilian killers are unable to survive for now, but let's see what kind of HPs they are actually going to boost, what kind of impact they're actually going to come back with the table. It seems like that Sci-Fi Esports is also pushing a bit on the other teams. But currently, if I talk about the battle, it's between Brazilian Killers and the team Mandrake Esports. Brazilian Killers' last member is actually on the back foot. He's trying to create a backstab situation, and that is working out quite well for the team.
Well, the picks are already started, and there's a lot of back and forth knocks that we are able to get. But talking about this particular game out here, the particular battle out here, it's going to be between the players of Brazilian Killers. Through the smoke, that is. Come on.
Exactly.
He's doing a good job. Appreciate the guy. He's really low on HP, trying to get few finishes. No, wait, what really happened? Did he actually get the finish? Did he not? I believe no, because the finish of that particular team that he did. Okay, so Brazilian Killers actually got the finish, and then in turn he got knocked by, probably because of the zone. I'm not really sure, but we'll be moving forward and talking about Rise Esports. They have definitely got an aim. They're definitely trying to connect few bullets on Influence Gaming right now, but in middle of Rise Esports and Influence Gaming, we have another squad. So it's going to be a battle between these 3 particular teams, and who's going to win this? The one with a really good spot.
Wow, man, that was absolutely an amazing fight, to be precise. What happened? Mandrake Esports was able to pop out the Brazilian Killers, and after that, Mandrake Esports also gets countered by XTEAM. That shows a beautiful up and down the lobby. But Cardoso is actually going to pick up the drop. That will give him the level 3 vest helmet and the utilities that was there in it. If the ghillie suit would have been there, I believe ghillie suit in the map of Miramar is not that fruitful, but then again, if the open zones are there, it can actually prove quite fruitful for you. But if I talk about this team, they have defeated 2 members. 8 total teams are surviving, 26 players are remaining at this moment. Seems like that we have got players like Vitali GM, we have got Backer as well on the back foot. Surviving is going to be the main key, but KSS Senra managed to pop one out of Sci-Fi Esports, to be precise. Yeah, Sci-Fi Esports is getting taken down. Renan was also able to take one down, and Papa Kill on the other corner also gets countered. Seems like that Sci-Fi Esports along with them, X Esports is also about to go down very soon. The reason being, X Esports is also not looking that good when it comes to the advantages, but yes, they have got the 6 frags that was required in the game, and for now their situation is looking a little bit more decisive, a little bit more effective. INF on the other corner is also going to be another beautiful team which has got the manpower. 4 frags as well is also there. There we go. The 5th one is about to come in.
See, Raider, if you noticed this or not, I'm not really sure, but the way the entire game turned out to be is that until 3rd zone or fourth zone, we were not able to see quite a bit of an action. But right now, we are only able to see one thing, and that is action. There are a lot of bullets that is getting fired, a lot of them getting connected. But right now, what the connection that I'm able to see is that Influence CHEMIN is making that against the team that is right in front of them. They have a zone to get into, and they're trying to get a way into that. But from the higher grounds coming to the lower ground, it's going to be a task. Influence CHEMIN is not really in a great position, but I appreciate the fact that they are trying to make the best out of the place that they are in. But Knife and Skull, a great amazing game in the first one. This is the second one for themselves in the row, and they are definitely in a good spot right now. If the zone is attracted towards them, they are definitely going to look forward for that particular chicken dinner. Not right for, I mean, not exactly is the zone for them, but they are quite near to it, and I'm sure that they're going to get inside really quickly and try to get as many finishes as possible.
Well, obviously, it's going to be difficult to be precise, but yeah, that could be the approach. 7 teams are there, 20 players are surviving. Every single individual is just rooting for that winner chicken dinner, along with the team, obviously. That is going to be the goal. Team effort should be there. Otherwise, it's not going to help you a lot. Meanwhile, if we talk about Influence CHEMIN, that's a beautiful team indeed. They are trying their level best to survive and put up the battle that is required. But yes, guys, as Ruthless IP Sports is saying, make sure to like, share, and subscribe if you guys are actually going to do that. We are going to bring back with a lot more of tournaments, although that's not a condition. You can easily just support us. Apart from that, yes, the tournaments are going to be there. Ruthless Esports is another amazing org that is putting up a lot of show for South Asian community, for the Brazilian one, or the Middle East. Everything is pretty much covered up by Ruthless Esports, and that's a huge shout out to Ruthless Esports from us as a caster. But for now, 6 teams, 18 places surviving. Let's see which is the team who is going to back out the winner chicken. And although it seems like that INF's CE, or should I say Influence CHEMIN, could be the team which is easily going to bag out the winner with a chicken dinner, but the biggest obstacle is that they are not in the zone. Apart from that, they don't have any kind of decisive covers, and the team which is having the covers is going to be Rise Esports. They've got the zone advantage, they've got the covers as well, so that's definitely going to be a very huge pain in the brain of the other teams. But on the other corner, look at that, we have got Kazuto goes into the nade. Can he connect it? That's a big question. Oh, the mini red zone has been created by those amazing nades being delivered, and Gary was able to find one. Okay, I believe another one was also found out. Higor and Katso, both of them have been taken down. Zinra on the other corner, Sindra from KS is also getting countered. Seems like that Rise Esports is putting up a show, and along with that, it's team number 14, I believe that's KS, which is also putting up a lot of chaos. Influence CHEMIN getting shattered momentarily. 2 good members have been taken down, and eventually the last 2 remaining players are just trying to lurk around, maybe gather and slither in the zone, although it won't be that easy.
See, he's crawling his way inside. If he makes it inside, I'm definitely sure he's going to make something really good. But for now, we have Rise Nunes out of the equation, and I believe the entire squad has been taken off. But Inco versus FLA, Inco, Becker, the final person surviving, he's inside the zone, I mean inside the smoke right now. He finds one who was already knocked. He tried to get that finish, he's done that, but in turn he compromised his position, gets picked from the other side, and he gets eliminated. And with that, we have 2 other teams getting picked off. That's going to be Inco Gaming along with Influence Gaming. So all the gaming guys are out for now, and we have Rise, who were actually having a really good spot in the zone, still surviving with 3-man. Gary, but is spotted. Trash trying to ensure that if he's firing, he gets a knock, but how long is he going to wait for that is a big question. It's a 3v3 battle with one more guy right in the right hand side. Not able to get in the zone at the right time would be a bummer for him, but if he actually gets in, then I guess he might get a chicken dinner if he's able to play his guns right.
That's definitely not going to be an easy task. 3 members, 3 teams to be precise, are surviving at this moment, and eventually this is a huge match to be precise for the comeback. But look at that, the beautiful road is cutting the zone in half, and that is the reason where not even Rise Esports is actually trying to overcome it. And on the other corner, Flamingo Esports is also unable to give that kind of advantageous fight that is required from the corner. If they're able to do so, that could be absolutely an amazing insight. For now, seems like that those smokes are actually going to put Mufasa and his teammates on a great spot. And yes, there is a knockout coming up from the back end. It's Gary X who is going to pick one down. This shows that opening are coming in, and it's Rise Esports which is definitely trying the level best to get the advantages done. Flamingo Esports on the other corner also gets connected quite a bit. To Aiko is Flamingo's. To Aiko was the guy who was trying to create the buffer, and there we go. He gets spotted. was about to take one down, but eventually now he has been spotted. Eventually, he had a beautiful advantage of having the X factor of the surprising situation, but no, it's not going to cut the deal. Oh, the nades are coming from the back end. It's basically like Rise Esports is trying to help that guy because they also know Flamingo Esports can easily change the pace of the game, and yes, exactly that is what is going to happen. Look at that. He has been taken down, but now this is the opportunity. This is the opening Rise Esports would have been waiting for. This is the right opportunity to strike on, but seems like that Rise Esports knows that the zone is going to be pretty much close to them. Why should we push in? We should rather wait and eventually let the guys coming from AS push forward. But Zendra gets countered with Mufasa's nade. Mufasa as a legendary lion name. That's amazing. Another nade goes in. That could critically attack Trash. His HP is way too low. Trying to survive. Oh, way too low on his stance. Gets countered, and now it's Kazuto to be precise, who's going to go for the heal battle, but no, that is not going to be possible. With that, Rise Esports finally gets the winner chicken done. And as we were talking about in the previous battle, that the last play zone is not going to be there in the circle, although that is going to contradict the statement. The reason being, it was pretty much close to the compounds to be precise. If you have the compounds and the zone is pretty much close to you, you can put some good smokes, because prior to that, I believe those smokes are not being used by your team because you already had some decent covers of the zones and the compounds as well. But for now, all said and done, it's over for the second match of the day, and the positioning for Team Rise is actually going to be second. What they had is a 17-pointer chicken dinner.
Well, look at their players. I mean, the post, they want us all to be quiet. Well, we are going to be quiet. They have shut down a lot of teams in this particular game, getting all the way up to #2 in the overall leaderboard. 1446 damage. That's a lot as compared to the eliminations that they have got for themselves. 10 position points. That's the chicken dinner points that they get. We're talking about Gary, 4 finishes. Nunes, good gameplay from his side, and he was definitely able to play a good role in terms of supporting his team. 2 finishes for 7, and Mufasa with 1. Rise Esports, ladies and gentlemen, getting the chicken dinner for the second game for themselves, which is going to be the map of Miramar.
Indeed, a beautiful match is pretty much over. Now moving forward, I believe we are actually going to witness another beautiful match. But before that, a lot of things have to be talked about. I believe if we talk about the standings, it is looking quite clear that there are a few teams which are trying to counter. There are a few teams which are trying to change the pace of the game. But then consistency is going to be the key. Black Dragons, well, they were not present in this particular game, but whenever they are going to be there, I believe 4 matches per day are going to be there. So the next 3 matches for them is going to be there consecutively. These teams are actually going to come back in the lobby, and eventually every single match is going to be quite important. 12 matches are there. In these 12 matches, if you are actually going to become the table topper, what you're going to get is the chunk of $300, which is obviously a decent price pool, to be honest. And along with that, the bragging rights of winning this particular tournament is going to be there. And with that, many more tournaments are going to be there. But let's talk about the results. Let's talk about the teams to watch and stuff like that. Yes, there we go. We have got the teams to watch. And it is Rise Esports, which has traveled more than 10,000 meters to just circle around in the zone and then eventually hold that compound, which was able to give them the advantage of having the winner in the chicken dinner.
See, Raider, right now, what I'm able to see is in the past 2 games, there has just been this one squad that has ensured that we have put them in teams to watch, because they are ensuring that their gameplay is something that not only us as casters watch it, not only the audience that are watching today, but also their opponents. Knife and Skull, an amazing gameplay, a consistent performance from their end, and this is definitely going to be good for them in a long run. But for now, the chicken dinner and all the credits that is good to be taken by Rise Esports, we will be talking about them more when the particular match ranking comes up. But MVP of this particular match is going to be Influence Gaming Federal. Amazing gameplay from this particular person here, and this team, that is Influence CHEMIN. They were not in the zone. They made themselves in the edge of it, and they put a lot of smokes. There was a good use of utility. They were not able to make it to the chicken dinner or in the top 3, but I still have to say hats off to Influence Gaming. An amazing gameplay from their end.
Oh man, indeed, that amazing instance was coming from Influence Gaming, to be precise. They were about to secure that winner with a chicken dinner, but eventually they were not able to do so. The reason was pretty much clear, that they were unable to find their way in the zone. Eventually, if that particular persistency would have been there, where they would have been able to secure the zone advantage, that would have been very fruitful for the team, to be precise. But all said and done, this is the eliminations and damage graph that shows you that the consistent ones were Rise Esports, Knife and Skull, and X Esports as well. X Team, to be precise. That are the three teams which are pretty much consistent to their damage and their eliminations. But now moving up to another insight, let's talk about another thing in this particular tournament that could show us that what kind of impact was there, what kind of eliminations, and what kind of devastating blow was there, to be precise, in the lobby. And this is the match ranking that shows you Rise Esport 17-pointer game is already there in their hands, Knife and Skull 13-pointer game, X Team with 11-pointer game, and if we talk about EYC Gaming 10, Influence Gaming with another set of 10 points, Flamingo Esports with 9 points, Sci-Fi Esports with 7 points, Inco Gaming with 5 points, Mandrakes Esports with 3 points to be precise, Smoky Esports with 3 points, Brazilian Killers with 2 points, Zebra Masters with 0 points, and Team Predators with 0 points, Cornethians with 0 points, Alpha 7 with 0 points, Storm Gaming with 0 points. I mean, there are 5 teams to be precise which had 0 points. Oh man, that shows a lot of teams went out way too early.
That did happen. That definitely did happen. But we will talk about it more later on. Right now, we'll focus on the match summary. Highest eliminations from EYC, 4 finishes, and the name is going to be Renin, if I'm not wrong. Federal coming up with the highest damage of 765. 3 highest assists from Mufasa, a really good support gameplay from him. Highest healing done is going to be 435. That's comparatively really low, but for this game, it's definitely the highest. But highest knocks coming from Xiao. I'm not able to get the name. Raider, if you could help me.
Oh, which guy?
Highest knocks.
Xiao.
Xiao.
That's just
Xiao.
like Xiao. That could be the guy I would ask the backend team.
Yeah.
Let it be. We'll talk about that guy. He is representing Team Influence CHEMIN Esports. That's the main perk of it. Apart from that, if we talk about the match stats, as you can see that we have got 58 eliminations altogether in this matchup. 7,370 is the total healings. If we talk about the total knockouts, that's 60. 192 throwables being used, 4 airdrops being looted, 13 headshots were appointed, and eventually if we talk about the total rescues, that's 17, and the record has been broken of 374 meters is already there. The longest elimination distance is absolutely amazing, 374 meters. So yes, answering your question, I believe the bet is done, I think.
Yeah. But well, you didn't go through it, so you cannot really talk about it. But overall standings, ladies and gentlemen, Knife and Skull, I was talking about the consistency. Here is what that particular consistency brings in. But what we have to look at is the fact that Black Dragons has played only 1 game and they are in top 3. So Knife and Skull with 16 points, that's a huge difference. But then it comes to Rise Esports with 9 points in the second position, Black Dragons with 7 points, but they only have had 1 game, and X Team with 2 games, they have 11 finish. I guess I've been saying finishes, but no, it's about the total points. That is Knife and Skull with 23 points, Rise Esports with 22. I'm really very sorry, guys. I would like to apologize. But well, Black Dragons with 17. So not much of a difference between 1 and 2. But when it comes to the third position, 17 finishes, 17 total points that they have with just 1 match, which means Black Dragons, if they're coming for the next one, they're definitely going to nail it.
Even a single point is actually going to change the pace of the game. So it feels like that Rise Esports can easily come back even stronger. Flamingo Esports, after playing their first match, 9 points. I believe that's a decent start, although if the double digit could have been there, that would have been a bit more appreciable, to be precise. But yeah, that's okay, all said and done. But seems like that Alpha 7 Esports, Zebra Master, Inco Gaming, Mandrakes Esports, and Team Predators, even after playing 2 matches for now, they are just stuck at the bottom 16 position. That's not good, to be honest. But let's see what happens in the upcoming stages. This is the overall ranking that can showcase the kind of, let's say, persistence that is there in these guys. But moving up ahead, I believe I would love to see what kind of changes are going to be there in the leaderboard. And eventually, guys, go for it and support your favorite teams as well. And Psych, you can ask the management of Ruthless Esports while coming back to the Discord channel for our Instagram handles. But for now, the overall ranking showcases us that as 17 we have got Smoky Esports with 3 points, Brazilian Killers with 2 points, and GZM Esports with 2 points, Storm Gaming with 0 points, to be honest. But what is happening to Smoky Esports? After playing 2 matches, just 3 points, that's all.
Well, Smoke Esports, I guess early eliminations is what is going wrong for them. I guess they have to just rework with the strategies. They have to find a place where they are not going to be contested, and then I guess it will be a good start for them for this particular week. Not that they have not really performed up to the mark, but I guess if they're going to re-strategize, then probably there'll be a result. But we'll be talking more about these teams and matches and games, but after a short break.
Hello, Brazil. We are back again on the desk. My name is Rita. It's Echo Boy with me on the desk. And this is the Pubg Mobile Pro Sims presented by Esports with a massive prize pool of $300 for week number 1. Day number 1 is already upon us. Match number 2 is over. And now we are moving on to the third match to be precise. And it is already marking the half of the journey for day number 1. But let's see what is going to happen in this day. The map is going to be E-ERANGEL, if I'm not wrong. Definitely a lot of amazing fights are already upon us. I'm hoping that once again we'll get to see what kind of impact that is going to be delivered. But look at the schedule, look at the fights. It's E-ERANGEL which is going to start in just 50 seconds.
50 seconds, guys, ladies and gentlemen. 50 seconds, and then we'll be back to Ruthless Hype Esports presenting Pro Scrims Brazil region. That is going to be, this is going to be the third game of the day and second time E-ERANGEL. Talking about E-ERANGEL itself, we are going to see a ratio of 60:40 between the land and the water. We have an island which is connected with 2 bridges. If the zone is there, then that's not the only way that you can get in. There is definitely waters. There are definitely we have the airway also possible now. I'm not sure about the vehicle name right now, but talking about the boats that there is, you definitely have a lot of ways to reach there. But if yes,
the boats are known as PG-117.
PG-117. So that's an information that we have. Thanks, Raider, for backing me up there. But talking about the game itself, we definitely saw a northwestern zone in the first E-ERANGEL. Ladies and gentlemen, flight C-130 has taken its departure. It's on the air for Ruthless Pro Scrims Brazil region match number 3 with 16 teams and 64 players. The flight trajectory starts all the way from Kamishki Hills, going all the way down to Quarry and more towards the west, actually. Quite a northwestern side of a plane trajectory, which means I'm expecting that the zone might be going towards the southeastern side. What takes do you have for this, Raider?
Oh, the zone, if it is actually going to go for the military base, that would be absolutely amazing. As a caster, would love to see that, but eventually the teams won't be able to appreciate it. Reason being, it's going to be a very ruckus full of type of, let's say, rotations coming in. Let's see what kind of impact is going to be there. But apart from that, make sure to support, make sure to actually go on with the kind of, let's say, approach that is required in the lobby. But apart from that, seems like that things can change rapidly. Loops Esports is coming back in the Kamishke and Salber region. Nobody's there to contest them. That's a great thing, to be precise. If there is no contestment, you can easily loot that. And Salber and Kamishke is pretty much a huge compound altogether. You can easily loot a lot of things and then eventually come back even stronger. But remember, guys, the most eliminations are coming from Sendra, who is representing Kills, Knife in Skull, and then it's EYC's Pankada, who has got another set of amazing finishes. But look at that. Oh, the eliminations is already done. Oh, I believe that would have been some kind of glitch, but yeah, 16 teams and 64 players are surviving for now.
Yeah, so that is definitely a glitch. But talking about the zone prediction, I definitely got it wrong. It is yet again, quite similar, or if I must say, an identical zone compared to the first Erangel that we saw for the day. And we are definitely able to see a lot of teams in the area of Georgia Pole as compared to the previous time when there were actually a lot of teams in the Ferry Pier and Primos region. So a lot of things are changing. And it was just one team that had to change, but I guess all the teams who actually went to Primorsk and Ferry Pier have now decided to take another location. But over there, we again have a drop contested for them, and that is not looking like a good sign. But talking about influence, Kemen, we have Little Boy with an AKM, level 2 of helmet, level 3 of vest, level 2 packet, 10 bandages, 2 first aids, 2 energy drinks, and 2 smokes. 4 smokes, that is. And talking about Honored Souls, Niho is quite an open, and he's, oh, okay. If he's going to get this, I'm definitely going to message him immediately on what are you doing? Let that boy get down on the floor. Let him at least smell the grass.
That was an amazing shot, to be precise. But now he's got an open area.
So he's actually going there?
Yeah, he's going to completely shut him down because there is nothing the other guy can do. Look at that. He's actually going to go for the defense so that he can rotate. But no, the shots are going to be there. And that was an on-point precision shot coming from 100 Souls. With that, one good guy from Team Sci-Fi is now going to be on a loss. Was trying to glide his way to the particular areas of farm, but eventually that was not possible because this is the pro sims, guys. Remember, the pros are there in the lobby. Nobody is going to leave you. Every single frag is going to count, and eventually those frags can result in a huge gap of dollars. So yeah, the prize pool is also at stake. So definitely the greedy ones are hunting. Sci-Fi on the other corner. Obscure was the guy who has been taken down. If we're talking about the other members, they're surviving. They're trying to find an angle from which they can fight back and eventually survive. TJ Patel, hello and welcome on the stream. Psych, welcome on the stream. All the other guys who are actually on the stream. A small request to you, all of you guys. Go ahead, keep on supporting, keep on actually showering the love that you are, and make sure to subscribe the channel as well, guys. I have subscribed, I have joined it. Whatever you can, guys, do as a support system, you can actually go with it. But for now, SKS along with an S686, this shows that there is a lot of lack of utilities to be processed from the corner.
See, now what is less loot is a big question, because what if he actually wanted to have that gun? Come on. There can be anything that is possible. For now, we'll be talking about Sci-Fi Esports. Lorazin and his counterpart with himself on a two-wheeler, quite dangerous of a ride, I would say, but they are definitely looking for more loot. So is Smoke Esports. Matthews is also looking for some more loot for him, but he's looking quite good for now. He has 2 guns, probably the choice of his, and a good amount of utilities that he can carry. I guess they are in the phase of regrouping. Ragnar, right. He's not part of this game, so it's going to be a bad start, I must say, because one man less is a chance of losing one battle that there is.
Every single guy is going to be very important, to be precise, when it comes to a 4v4 fight, or eventually if we talk about the chicken dinner as well. If you have the manpower, yes, you have the credibility to actually go for it, but eventually if you don't have the manpower, I believe your percentage or should I say your probability of securing that win over the chicken is already going to go down. Meanwhile, Black Dragons, that's the team, if you guys remember, was able to secure the first win over chicken dinner of the day. They had 17-pointer chicken dinner, and Rise Esports had another set of 17-pointer chicken dinner. But now moving forward, this is going to be another credible match. Let's see what happens. 3 minutes have already been passed out. The zone is about to get compromised soon enough, and with that, things can change quite rapidly. Rise is there with 22 points. If we talk about Black Dragons, they have got 17. Team X has got 16 points. EYC have got 14 souls. 100 souls to be precise. That's the team. They have got 10 plus 1. I mean, 1 was the frag that they got in this particular matchup, but apart from that, everything seems a little bit more lovely, a little bit more passive, to be honest. Now a lot of teams are focusing more on loots rather than going for the exceptional blows.
See, 2 things that I would want to say to everybody out here, and I guess it's a quite healthy discussion to have. By the way the points table, the points distribution that there is, all the teams are definitely wanting to, or probably should be, buckling up with their loot space and looking forward for more finishes in the initial stage, because when you have a good zone for yourself, you definitely have the space to work around, find better angles and take down the enemy. But when you're looking at edges of the zone where there's not much of an area to move around, you cannot really move around, because when you try to do that, you might be taken down from another team which was actually present in that particular vicinity. So having said all that, whichever team is going to go for those early frags, I guess is going to be better for them, a better opportunity to capitalize on that particular battle, that particular fight. But if not, towards the end, you might just want to avoid that kind of situation. But if that's working for you, ladies and gentlemen, that's something that is working for you.
Go for what you can actually command as the main meta. Eventually, if you are unable to hold that kind of persistency or eventually compound, you should not actually go with it, because the by the book rules are decent enough, but eventually if they are not beneficial for you in a practical way, I don't think so you should actually go ahead and approach for it. Meanwhile, if we talk about the Nova Ripner region, it is pretty much occupied by the X team. Although this is just the first play zone, so that zone damage is not that enough, not that impactful, to be honest, not that dangerous or harmful for that particular team. And eventually Novo is not a small region, a lot of loots would have been there, but now they're trying to rotate with the bikes. EYC, that is a very critical knockout. On the other corner, Rise Esports is one good members, back tire has been burst out. This shows Zebra Masters are actually trying to put up a lot of pressure on them. It's highly unlikely at this point that Rise Esports is going to survive, because a lot of teams are actually going to, a lot of players, to be precise, of Zebra Master are going to pretty much occupy or maybe hold this guy. But let's see what happens for now.
See, it's going to take some time. Oh, no, not really. The last bullet connected inside the smoke. Nunes is taken down. In the previous game, I remember this particular team that is in the name of Rise Esports got the chicken dinner, and Nunes was not able to get few finishes for himself, although he played a really amazing role of supporting his entire team. But in this game, he shall not be able to do that. That kind of permissions or allowance or that thing that there is not been given. Zebra capitalizes on against Rise Esports in this one, and they definitely get a point for themselves. Knock is something that there is, but the revival will be executed. On the other side, we have another fight happening against Flamingo, and the attackers are going to be in the name of Brazilian Killers. So there's this one player, Brazilian Killers. I'm not able to read his name, but I guess it is Thires. He did an amazing job.
Exactly. I mean, those guys are absolutely brilliant when it comes to the strategy, when it comes to the fights. So looking forward to the kills. The vehicle kills are also coming in. That's absolutely amazing. Nobody's stopping for now. I believe the rampage is going to be there, but the airdrop is actually going to be looted by Rises 7. Loots are coming in. That's definitely quite beneficial for them. And meanwhile, if you guys are actually here watching the stream, make sure to like it, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because in the next upcoming 2 days you will get to know who is going to be the champion of the first ever week of the Brazilian Scrims presented by Ruthless Esports. A beautiful indeed pro scrims coming in, but 100 souls, one good guy from that particular team has been taken down. The rest remaining players are also trying to take up a toll on XTEAM, but is it going to be easy? That's a big question. For now, Higor gets countered, and the other guys from Team 100 Souls, they are also trying their level best to focus, maybe pull through the fights, although it's very tough, to be precise.
See, everything is difficult until you actually have worked it out. But for now, Honored Souls got a really amazing finish in the beginning of the game, trying to get a player who has not even touched the ground. But right now, they are at a one-man loss. But against XTEAM Higor, they tried to get that finish. Did they get it? Yes, they did. Okay, so Rafina adds on to the total finishes and 1 finish point for himself. On the other side, Alpha 7 0 kill is getting picked up, and outside the zone goes Smoke. Soul during the rotation trying to get few finishes for himself, but in return gets knocked. Not really looking really good for Soul right now.
That's 100 souls for sure, and exactly they're trying their level best to counter. But the thing is, X team is looking a little bit more decisive. They've got the DBS, they're going to push through. This shot can be critical, and yes, it does. Kadso was able to take him down. 100 soul not looking even little bit of a good, to be precise. The last man standing is going to be Rafina. He has to completely bail out from the situation. The Tesla is pretty much ready. It's revving up and trying to completely bail out from the situation. They're pretty much close to Pochinki vicinity. They have to fall back, but seems like that, no, she's going to take up a fight. And that can be very critical. Although seems like that the buggy approach can be hindered. But no, Rafina finally finds her way out. Or his way, whatever the gender is. On the other corner, EYC is pretty much focused on taking down Alpha 7's member. Let's see what they can do.
It's something that we definitely would want to see, a 1v1 situation. McQueen gets picked up in this one. Diego capitalizes another finish for himself, if I must say. But on the other side, Peter becomes the final person surviving. Alpha 7 heard a lot about this team, but not able to perform up to what I have heard about them. Well, it's a bad start. It's a rough phase, I would say, but the zone shifts equally and gives more land than water, but the water is still present. The water is still present, and I'm going to predict right now that if that zone is going to have water, if
Wow.
sixth zone or the seventh zone is going to have the water, then we are going to see a lot of finishes. I mean, in the name of finishes, I guess I'm going to see a lot of fishes. But you said, wow, Raider, what exactly did you see?
I just love those water body fights, man. I just love it, man.
I mean, you like fishes, maybe.
I don't like fishes. I like the blood in the water. That's why he called out for this particular fight. So yeah, definitely it would be quite interesting to see those guys lurking in the water body, trying to survive, trying to just live another moment, maybe breathe a bit. And those guys which are actually going to be on top of that bridge are actually going to gatekeep them. I mean, whenever the kind of water body fights come in, I believe the first thing that you find is two teams in a tussle. Beyond the bridge, they are trying to tag each other. Apart from that, a lot of teams are trying to travel through the bridge. They are also getting taken down. And this is not the Novo Ripne bridge. This is not the bridge where you get another chance to rotate from. Yes, they can come from the Georgia Pool container side. They can rotate from there. But eventually, I'm damn sure that there are at least 2 or 3 teams gatekeeping that bridge as well.
See, the point, the matter of fact is that if you're not really having a lot of space to move on, then it becomes the only option. And then if there is somebody there, then it becomes quite difficult. But here, the difficulty that has been raised is from the Loops side against the GZM Esports. A knock and a finish immediately. Pubg is definitely holding his grounds. A 1v4 situation for him. He's cooking a nade. Will that nade connect? Will it do a significant damage? We are not able to see that finish fade lighting up, so no will be the answer. The players are really moving forward. A preventive nade definitely causes some splash damage that I'm going to assume. There is another nade coming, but Azvudo is going to come up with a DB, but that nade finally does the magic, but not on just one player, but 2. He picks 2 from a nade. He goes for another one, but from the other side, his teammate was able to pick another player out there. A chaos that happened, but Loop Esports gets eliminated. GZM, even after losing one player, they were able to hold their grounds. They definitely had Frog getting knocked, but this turned out to be good for him, for the team, because he was able to get 2 players from a single nade. And I'm going to appreciate that as much as possible.
It's once in a lifetime type of situation that was there, to be honest. We don't see that kind of often picks coming in. Eventually, I guess in a scrim that was presented by Ruthless, I saw a 1v4 being done by Nade, but after that I wasn't able to see any kind of things like that. But now finally, yes I did. Eventually it was like 6 or 7 months ago. It was a South Asian Scrims, South Asian event. But eventually, for now, look at that. The zone is actually going to make a lot of questions. Oh, that's interesting. 45% of the area is still in the particular play water body, which is pretty much unplayable area. But seems like that EYC is also trying to find their angles. Diego on the other corner gets countered. And now I believe EYC's whole situation of having the manpower, having the right callouts is going to get countered. So look at that. Oh, what is that? Team Smoke is just trying to be completely push onto them. Now it can be quite critical. Another 1v1 comes in, and with that, it's a beautiful shutdown coming in. EYC, for a moment, I thought that those guys from EYCs are going to get countered, but no, it didn't happen. EYC is going to survive. EYC is going to counter a bit more. And look at that. Everybody is just pretty much having their own rotations and occupying the Georgia Pool North, Georgia Pool Southwest compound to be precise. If they are able to do so, that would be absolutely lovely, because there are a lot of triple story compounds. These compounds can easily become your home for the next few zones.
Diego got picked up in the meanwhile. EYC is quite widespread, and in between the spread we are able to see XTEAM holding a really close compound against Pankada, and Pankada wants to move from that building, and he's able to successfully do that through the smoke path that was built. He rejoins with his teammate Adrian, and that is going to create a good situation for EYC for now. But what are they going to do further is a big question. But what I'm able to see from that small map there, Raider, there are a lot of teams. You really don't have much space to move around. You really have to make sure that the players that there are around are not aware about your position, and that could only be possible if you're not shooting. But if you're not shooting, you're not gaining those points. So I mean, there's a lot of things happening basically, and in all this situation, EYC is able to rejoin, regroup, and that as a strategy is definitely going to work wonders for them if they're going to play their cards right. But on the other side, Smoke gets challenged. A 1v2 challenge that we are able to see. Yes, okay, Chuna is going to get a nade on him. I mean, on his hand. He's tried to prevent him nade. But what? Okay, Mufasa got Chuna down. Chuna was actually picked up, and his another teammate also got picked up on. But in trade, we saw Gary X getting picked up from a nade from that team. But Rise Esports is going to survive one finish that they have for now. But there are about 42 players remaining, which means they have equal amount of opportunity from here to the end zones.
Oh man, that nade, that implications of the fights are looking very amazing. But look at that. We are actually moving up to the 5th zone, but still we are left with 13 teams and 42 players. This shows that when you have the compounded zones, when you have the areas where the compounds are going to be there is going to be a lot more of survival. I mean, that's kind of, let's say, static meta. And if you have a lot more of compounds, you are easily going to hide in that and maybe rotate through that. And exactly that is what is the meta for GZ, for Team Flamingo, I suppose, as well. Look at that. Their players are pretty much stuck on the areas like on the banks, on the shores. And apart from that, if we talk about Jesus, Mr. Bro, let's see what he's actually going to come up with. Bro 77 is going to be the guy. It seems like that he knows that there is an enemy and he's trying to cook up a nade and maybe throw towards him. If the knockout could come in, that would be absolutely amazing. That could have been good frag for the team. But seems like that other teams like Mandrake Esports is also trying their level best to change the pace of the game. Kashi, welcome on the stream. Papako Gaming, also welcome on the stream. Bikash Gotane, welcome on the stream. All of you guys, make sure to support us, make sure to actually show your love. But seems like that for now the centric part is going to be get covered by team number 10. Apart from that, the water body fights are not going to be there, so our hopes, my hope specifically, is not going to be get completed, because now the fights are going to be compounded one. And to be honest, these fights can actually go ahead and stretch out for the 9th zone as well, because people might be hiding in the 1st floor and the enemy might be hiding in the 2nd floor. That is the call out that we have seen quite often in the fights that come in the apartments like the Georgiapur Northwest compounds or the Southwest triple story compounds or the school apartments and stuff like that.
Right, but for now, we are going to concentrate on EYC. EYC, 2 players are already picked up. They definitely were able to regroup themselves, but they were not able to play the cards that I was talking about. And that has definitely created a panic situation or a havoc situation, that I must say. Peter is on the water bodies even now, but the zone has moved completely from there. And he's going to get challenged from at least 3 teams. Alpha 7, the survival is definitely going to be difficult, but if he's able to make it, then that's a remarkable one that could be there. But for now, Sci-Fi Esports is able to hold a good position for himself, and he's going to spot a lot of players. And in this Sci-Fi lineup, I guess Mandrakes gets 1 player down, and the revival for that player is definitely not possible, which means there is a pick that he has made and he's going to get that fruit for himself. A nade getting cooked against GZM, if I'm not wrong, and that is going to be a difficult situation for the 2 teams, which is equally pressurized from a single team there. But Storm Gaming, not being able to survive for long, gets picked. He had a 1v2, but Pereira gets 1 player down. He confirms that finish. A 1v3 is waiting for him downstairs, but will he be able to clutch is a big question. He has that S12K. He smokes this entire area out for him. But Rafa from all the way across with that DP28 does the magic. Storm Gaming gets eliminated. But we'll be talking about Sci-Fi. The game has to go on.
Exactly. It is going to be there. It's a part and parcel of the game. But look at that. Papa Kill on the other corner finds a gap that was needed to be precise. With that, another beautiful takedown, another beautiful initiation of the fights are coming in. Indeed, the picks are looking surreal. But let's see what is going to happen. Influence came in on the other corner, gets wiped out by Rise Esports. That's again a beautiful rise coming from Rise Esports. That's a irony of the name. But apart from that, if we talk about Flamingo's Gigante, he has been taken down. Flamengo Esports are unable to survive for even a brief time period in this kind of fifth circle. Obviously, it's going to be critical. Obviously, as the time passes, the fights are actually going to be quite critical. And welcome Speedo on the chat. Make sure that these teams are actually going to represent themselves at their peak. I'm talking about the guys which are actually representing them, the IGLs, the analysts, the coaches. Obviously, the teams are trying their best to compete, but then again, they are becoming a little bit more predictable. I'm talking about teams like XTEAM or some other teams which are getting eliminated quite early. Even Sci-Fi is also trying their level best to compete, and look at that, one good nade was able to finish off GZM Esports, and with that, another beautiful opening is already here. Moving forward, I believe we might see some more fights coming up close to that. Oh yeah, the shots were there, but eventually they stopped. He should have not shot. Eventually, those shots can be very fruitful for the enemy that is there. But look at that, everybody's just stuck. Nobody's trying to rotate. Nobody is able to even rotate at that point. EYC's Pankada on the other corner finds one from Mandrakes Esports. That's going to be Nicholas, who has been taken down. On the other corner, Sci-Fi's Esports member is about to go down, but the S12K shots are getting connected. What a beautiful takedown coming from this guy's corner. He's not going to stop. Oh wow, look at that. He goes in for another shot, but fails to connect it. That could have been a very brilliant fluke coming in, but let's see what happens. The push might actually be there. Oh yeah, the shot is there. That's it. Sci-Fi Esports finally is here, but Flamengo is out of equation with 4 amazing finishes. They have been out of the lobby for now. But if we talk about other teams, Rise Esports is also getting outed.
Well, we still have 9 teams over here and 21 players battling against each other in the zone number 6, which is in itself a very chaotic situation. On the other side, from this player's perspective, we were able to see 2 teams fighting, and well, we have a beautiful drone shot, which is going to cover the teams of BRK and BD, that is Black Dragons. This is their second game in this particular day, and this will be the 3rd game in the day itself. But they are getting shot not only from against the players of Brazilian killers, but from far away as well. Black Dragons not in a really good position. Brazilian killers are able to advantage themselves in this situation. 3 players are alive. While I was talking, one more gets picked up. God's trying to connect a nade, but if he's able to, then it's going to be good for him and his teammate. But for now, we are not going to get much of an information there. But what we are able to see is Rise Esports is getting eliminated. Preventive smokes and nades are just going to be utilized as much as possible to ensure the survival. But in all of this, from some godly support that we got, Black Dragons is not in a really good position, which is definitely going to help Brazilian killers to not only battle against this particular zone but also against Black Dragons. But in all this situation, Alpha 7, ladies and gentlemen, finally gets eliminated, but Gods become the final person surviving from Brazilian killers for now.
A lot of teams are getting decimated. Seems like that next team is also going to be another team which might actually go down. But look at that, EYC's Adrian managed to find out the last man standing from Brazilian killers, and with that, the killers are actually killed. But on the other corner, let's talk about other teams. For example, ZM is there. The Zebra Masters trying to survive. EYC is there. XTEAM is there. Black Dragons are also going to be there. Even Mandrake's Esports last member standing is actually surviving. Look at that. That's Jose, if I'm not wrong, who is just completely trying to bail out from this situation. He has got the double-story building. He has got a beautiful angle, pretty much. But the nade goes in. That can easily go ahead and kaboom the guy. But look at that shot coming in. It could have been actually a fruitful knockout, but it is Rafa who is going to completely change the pace of the game. He manages to knock out one from the perspective, and now that's a great opening, to be precise, that we were waiting for. The Black Dragons, they have to rotate. Let's see what kind of rotations these guys are actually going to put through. It's pretty much uneasy for them to rotate, but Jose also gets finished off. With that, again, a big team, a big name out of equation is going to be there. But Black Dragons, after being this consistent, seems like that they're actually aiming for the first position in the leaderboard. But EYC could be another team which is going to challenge them in that kind of stakes. But Kartsu and the other members, that means it's team XTEAM which has been taken down. Meanwhile, Zebra Master are not even stopping. 12 kills is there. 13th knockout was also there. But can they finish him off? That's a big question for now. EYC also pushes forward. That was a beautiful trade of fire coming in. And Kada gets traded off. It's Adrian He might not push here. The reason is pretty much clear that he is pretty much the last man standing of his team is pretty much far away. The focus has been shifted. Now, the winner chicken dinner could be pretty much clear, and it is actually going to go for the hands of Team Zebra Master. But the thing is that how far the number of finishes are going to get evolved. That Molly can impact quite a bit. And yeah, the Molly went in. Yes, it is going to impact Adrian. Adrian is the last man standing of his team. Finally, is about to get finished off. But no, he prones down. He's going to completely neglect the effect of that Molotov cocktail. He's going to repatch himself. The shots are coming in. Look at that trade of fire coming in. Oh, the knockout is there. That's amazing. That's amazing. What?
What?
I thought for a moment that the chicken dinner is going to be there, but the Black Dragons got eliminated. The first two matches are now actually pretty much broken because there is a 25-pointer kill and eventually 25-pointer win over the chicken dinner that is there in the game. That's absolutely amazing. Looking forward to see what kind of impact that is going to make in the scoreboard. So yes, let's see what the scoreboard is all about, what kind of impact is going to be there. And eventually, guys, if you are still facing the issue of buffer and the other things, please make sure to refresh the stream. Things will be resolved.
Well, just go ahead and refresh the stream. You'll be able to get back on track with all the action that there is. The match got ended and the stream actually paused there. So we would like to tell you that the Zebra Gaming that there is, they were able to capitalize this entire Erangel match for themselves, and they have got about 15 elimination points and the winning point of 10, summing up to a huge pointer game for them of 25. That's, ladies and gentlemen, the biggest for now from the three games that we have seen by far. Two Erangels, one Miramar, and we are going to go ahead and look into the results side. That's the post-match segment. MVP of this particular match, ladies and gentlemen, EYC Adrian. Adrian is who I was talking about. An amazing gameplay that we got to see from him. I'm really happy from the game that he has performed, and I'm sure his teammates are also going to be as happy as he should be, because 6 eliminations with 1273 damage, 9 throwables used, and 1 assist. Ladies and gentlemen, EYC Adrian, MVP of match number 3, Day 1.
Agent did a phenomenal job of actually securing those amazing finishes. And look at the damage, 1273. Although his teammate was not there to support him, if he would have been there, I believe the chicken dinner could have been a little bit more easier for the guy. But it happens, guys. The manpower is obviously not going to be there anytime soon. But on the other corner, guys, make sure to support and make sure to refresh the stream as well if you are still facing the issues. Don't worry, guys. Everything has been resolved. Seems like that eliminations and damage page can clearly showcase us that it's Team Zebra Master, which was pretty confident, pretty consistent when it comes to the attacking formation, when it comes to the damages that was required. But yeah, they did a beautiful number in the lobby with 15 packs and the grand total of 2,846 damage. That is just amazing.
See, 2846 of damage against 15 finishes. That's just double than the finishes that they have. That is, I mean, if one player has to be attacked and given a damage of 100 is when you get a knock, and you have given about 30, I mean 3000 damage. That is a lot of damage against the finishes that they've got, but they're going to be happy because 15-pointer finish game, which means that they have definitely worked out their strategies well this time. But talking about the match ranking, Zebra Masters with 10 position points, 15 elimination points, and total 25. We have spoke about them enough. We will talk about EYC Gaming. 6 position points, 10 elimination, not so far behind with 16 points. And at third position, we have XTEAM with 4 position points, 4 elimination points, and 8 points in total. Black Dragons were able to survive a bit more, and they have got a 5-pointer placement. 5 placement points, that is, and 3 eliminations. But because XTEAM was able to have more elimination, because that's going to be the priority right now, that's going to be what we will be talking about in further as well. But at 5th position, we have Brazilian Killers. At 6, Rise Esports, and followed by which we have Sci-Fi, GZM, Flamingo, Loops, Mandrakes, Hornet Souls, Smoke Esports, Storm Gaming, Alpha 7, and Influence CHEMIN. The points that there is going to be is not going to be significant for Influence CHEMIN, but match summary, we are going to look at EYC Adrian, really shining in this match summary, actually, with highest eliminations on his name, with highest damage on his name, and also highest knocks on his name. That's about the match summary from a single player. But then we have Loops coming in. We have Scar Dozin with the highest assists, and then we have Papa Kill with 473 highest healing done.
But the knockouts, the kills, the damage, everything is pretty much clear for now with the match summary. Let's move on to the next page, which will showcase us some more details about this whole event, details about this third match to be precise after the third match. Let's see what kind of insight we are going to get. Okay, this is the match stats. 60 eliminations, 8,194 is the total healing. 58 knockouts were there. If I talk about the total throwables used, well, that's huge. 308. I mean, that was the compounds fight, so definitely I believe this is going to be the approach. 308 throwables being used, 2 withdraw being looted, 5 headshots, 12 rescues. And if I talk about the longest elimination distance, that is the, I guess, lowest till the, if we compare, if we compare it with the first two matches, 303, that's the longest elimination that was there. Because eventually in the last cycle, you saw that the fights were coming up to a very close quarter in the Georgopol Southwest City, so it is actually pretty much justifiable. But on the other corner, let's talk about more details. We have got the overall ranking. It's Zebra Master. After that beautiful 25 bomber, obviously it was bound to happen. But look at EYC Gaming. They're also not that far away.
The only difference that is going to be between Zebra Master and EYC Gaming is the total chicken dinners that they have. So here, ladies and gentlemen, I would want to explain on why Zebra Master is ahead of EYC. It's because when the points are going to be equal, the winner chicken dinner count is going to be taken in account first. If that is going to be equal, then the eliminations are going to be prioritized and then the place points. So you know that you have to prioritize everything equally in order to stay ahead in this race. But in the second page where the worry starts is going to be for Honored Souls, Sci-Fi Esports, Influence Gaming, Loops Esports, Mandrakes, Brazilians, and Alpha 7 followed by with GSM. These people will have to worry a bit. Not much of a worry for players, for the teams who have only had 2 matches by far, but for Influence Gaming, for Mandrakes, and for Alpha 7, they have to buckle up.
Indeed, if they want to jump back in the leaderboard, they have to buckle up, they have to gain the points. Although, if that is not going to happen, the prize pool chunk is not going to be there for them. Top 20, there are 20 teams to be precise, but eventually only the top 3 teams are going to get blessed with the prize pool. Apart from that, if we talk about Storm Gaming, still fails to do anything at this point. They have played 2 matches, but 0. Okay, 1 point to be precise. Finally, there we go. The initiation is there from their corner, and that was of elimination. If we talk about Smoke Esports, 4 points from their corner. If we talk about Predators, they've got 5 points. If we talk about Inco Gaming, they've also got 5 points. This shows that there is a lot of lack of finish points and the position points that is required. The consistency is not there. They're somehow unable to cut those rotations, which is pretty much important, to be honest. When it comes to a game, you have to have those rotations, you have to have those amazing inside of areas where you want to rotate from. Eventually, if that is not there, your survival is going to get impacted, and that's exactly what is happening to Storm Gaming and other teams like that. So let's see what happens in the next one, because the next match is going to be in the map of Miramar. Obviously full of clashes, obviously full of a lot of jumbled up situations is going to be there. Remember, 2 more matches to go for the day, and after that we'll be back tomorrow with another set of 5 amazing matches, and then again day after tomorrow we'll be back with another set of amazing matches. But I guess overall ranking and overall statistics were pretty much here. We were actually about to get the inside of that, but now look at that. This is the map schedule, and next match to be precise is going to be the map of Miramar.
Yes, map of Miramar. Map of Miramar. I guess I've never called it map of Miramar. This might just be the first time, because I always go with the names like, the map of Sands, the map with the golden Mirado, the map where the wraith, the sand is what you will be tasting. If you do not get the knocks, you do not get the finish, you do not get the finish, you do not get the chicken dinner that is there. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, match number 1 goes to the pockets of Black Dragons. Then we see Rise Esports, and then we see Zebra Master. As and how the the competition is going further, what I am able to see is that there is a new team which is emerging to be the winner, and not just that, but the aggression is actually more, and the strategies are actually more. Because if we compare Erangel, match number 1 Erangel and match number 3 Erangel, the huge difference between both of these were that the points table was having a lot of gap between the teams that they were playing. And the biggest difference that there will be there is that there were a lot of teams in the areas of Georgopol. Probably the zone became a factor where the teams got a good cover for themselves. But nevertheless, the game was good enough. I was excited. We were able to see a lot of action in the end zones. Chaos is what we always want to witness, and the chaos is what we have got. But ladies and gentlemen, in about 25 seconds, the map of Sands.
Indeed, the map of Golden Sands is going to come upon us in just few seconds. We'll get to know where the flight path is going to be there and what kind of impact the circle is going to bring back for us. This is the amazing map where things can topple down quite fast. We can actually see the San Martin circles. We might actually see the clashes coming up in Picardo or Los Angeles could be the one favorable compound where the zone might actually go in. And now moving up, I remember this is the PUBG Mobile Pro Scrims. The region that we are representing for now is going to be Brazil, and this is Ruthless Esports presenting you guys with this kind of amazing tournament. But for now, seems like that the flight path is going to be pretty much similar to it as the second map, to be precise, where the initiation is from Los Angeles, goes to cut off the Picardo. San Martin is going to be there, and then La Cabrera is going to be the last drop location along with Torre Muda, where the teams might actually jump in. But let's see where they're going to jump in, what kind of impact they're actually going to bring. There are a lot of speculations, to be honest. There are a lot of hopes, a lot of variables that are going to take a toll. Choma could be a beautiful location where the fights might actually come in, but as a caster, would love to see some initial picks, would love to see some initial fights coming in. Flamengo Esports is also there. Not a huge day for Flamengo Esports, but definitely this could be one amazing match where they can come back with a beautiful chicken.
See, the flight trajectory is good enough. Now, what these teams are actually to do is that they get a good drop location for themselves, a good loot for themselves, and a vehicle to go about, because this map is all about the land area, and you definitely need a vehicle to move around. But not just the land area. One thing that is quite significantly different from the map of Erangel is that the fights that are going to happen in Miramar is going to be in an open area, which means in the name of loot, you must probably have more of utilities, that is the molotovs, the nades, and the smoke that is there. But if that is not checked, then I'm definitely wanting to see on what kind of strategy is going to come up from the teams who are going to still depend on the gun game more above and beyond the game of utilities. But for now, the zone has been made. Hacienda del Patron somewhere in the center area, and we have loops over there looting for now. We definitely had Flamingo nearby, but okay, a close combat against Zebra and loops. There is Zebra definitely outperformed everybody in Erangel, but currently they have two-man loss, and Raider, this is going to get quite chaotic for themselves.
It's already actually started, and look at that. Oh, the eliminations is finally done. Loops Esports is out of equation. The team which was able to counter them was Zebra Esports. Remember, that is the team which is still on top. And now with this kind of decimation, nobody's going to take them down. For now, seems like that they are actually going to get that buffer. Loops Esports could have been the team which might have changed the pace of this particular team. And if right now at this same exact moment, it would have been Zebra Esports, then I believe the whole motivation, the whole meta that Zebra Esports was able to build from the previous matchup would be broken. But no, that's not the case. On the other corner, if we talk about Corinthians, for this team particularly, that's SCCP's mid stomp, and apart from that, the other members are also there trying to loot the San Martin, Hacienda Patron region. Nobody is there to contest them, so that's an open invitation by San Martin and Hacienda Patron for them to loot in. Knife and Skull, another beautiful team which is trying to tag out the vicinity of Los Angeles. Seems like that they are easily going to get the advantage of it. Nobody is here to contest as goes for SCCP, so that's a huge advantage of having this kind of split drops. But meanwhile, as you guys remember, one team is out of equation, and that was Loops.
I'm feeling bad for Loops, but it is what it is. I mean, a team gets lost, a team that there is to gain from it, and for the name of gain, that is going to be Zebra. But for now, the gain is towards Team Predators. They already have two players of Brazilian killers are down on their knees, and those people are going to get confirmed as well. Player 4 not wasting much time to do that. But for now, there's a 1v3 situation. He's going to get angled from every possible place. He had a DB, was not able to make a connection, but the Uzi did the job. The fastest fire speed, I mean, the fire rate of this Uzi gun is above any other gun that there is in the game, and that was put into a really good use. We have Therese, the final person surviving. Brazilian killers, a sad beginning in the game of match number 4.
Indeed, it was a sad start for this team particularly, but eventually the last man standing, he was on a toll in the third match to be precise. So definitely looking forward to see what can he bring to the table, what kind of impact this guy is actually going to bring. Remember, guys, this is the second last match for the day, so definitely every single fight.
to be continued, and the battle is definitely going to be done between the teams that are present. And I'm really very happy that the kind of gameplay that is coming up from all the teams right now in the game of Miramar is definitely quite interesting to be witnessing. But Raider, who do you think is going to get this one? Well, it's a good beginning for them, but doesn't mean that they end well as well. But okay, I'm going to hope. I'm just going to hope that the best team wins. Yeah, but Inco Gaming right now has already spotted Zebra Masters. So you think Zebra Masters is going to get 4 more points for themselves? If not, probably. I mean, no, I don't want to say it. Caster's curse is something. So I'm not going to say it.
Yeah, indeed, man. Caster's Curse is pretty much surreal. So yeah, it can happen. On the other corner, if we talk about Alpha 7, well, they are rotating. They are pretty much close to the Montenovo location. It's Alazar, if I'm not wrong, where they are. So yeah, Alpha 7 Esports definitely trying their level best to find that area from which they can rotate, find the angles, maybe put back 1 or 2 players. But no, it's not that easy. 15 players, 15 teams to be precise, and 56 players are surviving for now. Everybody is having a passive approach, and after the first and second play zone will be shifted, I believe in the third play zone we might see some fights. But before that, things can take a very calm and peaceful notch. And yes, exactly that is what the situation is all about. Everybody's just trying to loot. Everybody's trying to just gather as many as utilities as possible. Nobody's focused on having some frags at this point or go for some initial picks, because this is the second last match. So definitely every single point counts. And just 1 point gap can easily turn the table quite a bit. But on the other corner, Inco pretty much close to another beautiful team. There could be a fight between Inco versus Zebra Masters, but let's see, will the Masters will be able to beat Inco Esports out of the equation, or Inco is actually going to initiate a beautiful attack on Zebra Masters and eventually rip them apart.
See, right now, if you're going to ask me, Inco has to eliminate Zebra Masters. If they really want that momentum back, they want that confidence back, they want that, that pace back for themselves. Because right now they are lurking somewhere in the down table at hashtag 18. It's definitely not positive. It's not quite a good position to be there. But if they actually get Zebra Masters out of this particular game, this it is going to be quite good for them as to the mental game that there is. But we'll talk about Flamingo. Flamingo, GC God, quite right now just in a vehicle going around trying to get a good speed spot from where he would want to start this entire game from. But Inco is not just I mean, they just don't have to battle against Zebra Masters, but behind they have Flamingo who are going to attack them as well.
Well, look at the decimation coming in. Exactly, I believe the attack is going to come in. Flamingo from the back foot, as you said, were trying to attack with the mini 14s. That was pretty much on point. Precision is going to be the main key factor at that point. But apart from that, EYC is also rotating. We've got some decent players coming from EYC's corner as well, but the expectations are not going to let go for now. And I have high hopes from this team. I just hope that these high hopes are actually going to get overcome, because these rotations are going to be very critical. These kind of impacts are actually going to be quite critical. All of these players, while they are finding their angles, things can change rapidly. Adrian is there. We have got Diego. We have got Pancada. Along with that, we have one more player coming from the team, that is going to be Celine. But while their rotations is coming in close vicinity, we have got team number 7 as well, which might actually take some shots onto them. And if that is going to be the case, the shots can be very fatal, and eventually some vehicle blows or some open-ended area takedowns can actually come in.
See, I really want Adrian from EYC to show me some more of his skills, because it was quite remarkable to see the way that he was playing, and I still really want that kind of gameplay to be witnessed from any player that there is. But I want to see if Adrian is going to be consistent in his gameplay, and I really want to see if he's able to actually outperform the expectation that I have from him. But for now, Inco is in a position, I guess, that is going to attract a lot of players who are going to rotate. This can be an advantage for them. They can easily take down a couple of players out there, and they can add to their finish points. But on the other side, if they fail to hold the position strong, then probably there will be an exit for them yet again, which I will definitely not want. Right now, I'm going to root for all the teams that are there in the bottom of the table because I want this entire week to be packed with action. And that action, I guess, ladies and gentlemen, Sci-Fi is going to begin with the shots that is going to be against EYC.
Well, indeed, they are coming up with some good shots. Let's see how far these shots are going to help them. For now, if we talk about Kuras, he's actually there. The shots are going in, but Radiant was not, to be precise, attached with the shots. But apart from that, yes, the other teams are trying to rotate. Loops Esports, that's the only team which is out of the equation. All the other teams, all the other members are also barely surviving. Brazilian Killers is another beautiful team which is barely holding on to their breaths because the last man standing is there, struggling in between compounds, trying to rotate, trying to escape from everything that is actually going to be there, trying to escape from every enemy. But in just 2 minutes, the second zone will compromise, and these 2 minutes are going to be very crucial, to be precise. But let's see what kind of crucial picks are actually going to be there, what kind of decimation is going to be there. FYC Gaming, EYC Gaming, to be precise, is looking decent. Adrian, back and forth every now and then we see Adrian, and eventually the hopes of aggression is going to be there from Adrian's corner because that is the guy who was quite aggressive in the previous battles as well. But we have 3 teams outside the play zone. First of all, it's Brazilian Killers with only 1 band power and 0 points in this particular matchup. Then we've got Team The Predators, which had 3 or 4 finishes, I believe. And they are also pretty much outside the play zone. As you can see that beyond the areas of Leos, Sinis and Porto Paraiso is actually going to be that team. Apart from that, another beautiful team which is outside the play zone is barely crossing over to the play zone. That is Alpha 7.
See, I guess Brazilian Killers is doing the right thing right now, but so far outside the zone, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to work good for him. He's not really moving, at least from the map that the map that we got to see was not really moving around. But on the other side, Team TP, that is Team Predators, they were indulged in an early fight. It self explains on why they are still outside the zone, but they are moving inside. And I guess when they do, they will have to have a lot of heals for themselves to make sure that they are all ready for the fight and the action that is going to happen immediately once they enter inside the zone, because it is zone number 2 shrinking to the third one, which means the land mass area is going to be less. Yes, Miramar has more of land than water, but as the zone decreases, the playing area is going to be less, and the game is going to force you to be inside that white circle, which is going to be constrained after every few minutes, and the players have to somehow manage themselves inside that and get a good position and few more finishes for themselves. That is what 100 souls are going to honored souls are going to try. But ladies and gentlemen, the zone has shrunk, and water treatment is going to be the center of it.
Wow, man. Honored Souls trying to rotate, Honored Souls trying to actually find that gap. But meanwhile, if we talk about other teams like, if we talk about BD, well, they are also trying to find that angle. Team Predators also trying their level best to rotate. Honored Soul on the other corner, look at that. The Mirado is actually at the question. Obviously, Mirado is not a great weapon or a great vehicle to be precise to rotate with. But then again, whenever you have got any single vehicle, except the bikes and the triple seater bikes to be precise, I believe you should go with it when it comes to the rotation, because that might actually give you the upper hand against the rotations, which is actually going to be barefoot or by rotating with vehicles like bike and guy who's sitting on the pillion seat of a buggy. So it can be quite risky. Meanwhile, 14 more seconds to go. Third zone will shrink in. Let's see where the third zone is going to get compromised. And after that, where the fourth zone is actually going to be there, that is another big question that I want to get an answer for. But Sci-Fi on the other corner also gets shut down. Sci-Fi is one good player, has been taken now. Let's see what the remaining rest, I believe 3 or 5 players are actually going to do. That's the big question for now. And yes, exactly, the knockouts are there, but the knockouts can actually result in a revival, or it can actually result in a fatality. Let's see what is it.
See, now because you're talking about fatality, we'll have to wait. We'll have to wait and watch. But for now, Sci-Fi holding the hard compounds over here. They're definitely going to try to be holding it for some more time. But on the other side, Souls Rataboo, if I'm not wrong, gets KS on his knees, and then also out of this particular game. A finish point for him. Another finish point that he will want to add, but he's spotted. He would want to reposition himself, and that is so what he will be doing. But from the other side, Flamingo Esports is also having an eye on 100 souls, honored souls. I don't know why they've been calling them 100 souls, but okay, honored souls. A player gets picked off. I guess that is Rafina. I'm not sure. We'll have to wait to be, make sure that who actually got picked up from Team Hornet Souls. But Hornet Souls is really doing a good job right now. But here you go, Rafina is out of the equation for now, but 3 finishes and 3 players still surviving. Souls is definitely looking good for now, but for how long is a question that I will need an answer to. But Flamingo, I guess they're just going to wait over here for some more time and get that finish that they have already scouted on. But I guess getting inside the zone is more important.
Obviously, paying your respects to the play zone and playing along with it is going to be very important, because the PUBG gods are not the one which may actually come up with a, should I say, forgiveness for you. The punishments are going to be quite harsh. The zone shifts are going to be quite critical, and look at that. The 4 zone is also going to be there. Let's see where the zone goes in. Maybe actually going to go for the northern corner. Let's see. That's my prediction, northern eastern corner. But no, it's completely going to shift to the southern eastern one. That's amazing. And now water treatment is still in the circle. That's amazing. But apart from that, a lot of teams are out of this particular circle. I believe just close to 4 or 5 teams are actually having the circle advantage, but remaining 7 or 8 teams or 9 teams to be precise are pretty much outside the play area. So for them, rotations are going to be quite critical, and seems like that SCCP knows that, and that is why they're completely on a rotation mode.
See, rotation is what every team will want to be doing when the zone is forcing them to do that. But in middle of all that, if you are able to get few picks for yourselves, that's going to be great. Alan Zian, if I'm not wrong, just did just that. But if I see Adrian, I was looking forward for some action from his side, but I guess that will not just be possible for now. He's been knocked. A finish might just follow by if the revival is not executed when required, but not is definitely going all out there. He spots another one, takes few couple of shots, but he cannot be so aggressive, can he? EYC, they know what they're doing. They gets him knocked for now, and EYC for now is good, looking quite good. They have 3 man of theirs. One Adrian is actually confirmed, but their players are really on a very low health. They will have to patch themselves up. The location that they are in is not so favorable for them. They are on a very open side and on the lower grounds. Storm Gaming, this might just be a chance to, climb that leaderboard.
Tough moment coming in. Indeed, Honored Soul is also trying to peek out and get the finds. And yes, exactly as you said, Storm Gaming, that is a moment. This is a moment, to be honest. This is a match where they can easily come back in the game. Yes, they have gathered 1 point for now, but seems like that they are stuck in the top 14 teams. Moving on to the fifth zone, I believe very soon the things might change, but EYC's one good member is already getting countered. Shots are being delivered. Storm is finally having the gas station advantage, which is going to give them the hardcore circle advantage, to be honest. But very soon the backstab might actually come in. It could be Team Honored Soul which is going to finish him off, but there we go. Celine managed to take one down. The knockout is there. Now the revival is actually going to be at the question, and yes, the revival is also coming in. But seems like that EYC knows this approach, and they're trying to completely push on to the players of Team Storm Gaming, and if that is going to be the case, that would be quite lovely. But no, I believe from the backhand it's Honored Soul which is going to push them around. And look at that, the damage that is coming in, the definite pressure that is coming in.
The pressure is what is going to create panic, and the panic is going to create a lot of action, and the action is what we are over here to witness. EYC getting choked to death right now by a lot of teams that is surrounding them, but Honored Souls is able to capitalize on the situation for now because they have an upper advantage, which means they will be able to spot the players better. Spots one, takes the shot, gets the player off, and those are 2 finishes for Team Honored Souls, who were not even there in this equation because the fight was actually between Team Storm and EYC. But Honored Souls rotates inside the zone, gets a better position, and eliminates EYC, which means ZM still is going to be strong enough to be maintaining a really good position for themselves, and that is kind of gifted from the team of Honored Souls.
Wow, man, what a fight indeed. But now the fifth zone is going to come in. Oh, that's a complete shift coming in. Now it's going to be a Central Eastern one. And the team which is going to be having the advantage is going to be Inco. They have got the hardcore compounds that is there in the particular play zone. But Alpha 7 on the other corner once again gets shut down from the past 3 matches to be precise. Alpha 7 Esports was unable to do anything. And in this particular matchup, exactly the same is going to happen. 0 points for them. 7 points altogether is what Alpha 7 was able to bag out. And the huge majority of those points were able to be there in the first match. And now when they are becoming predictable, They're unable to survive. They're unable to thrive at that point, but eventually it happens whenever in a battle. But Zebra Masters, after decimating a team in the San Martin region, in the particular area where the Golden Mirados thumbs up, I believe now their focus is getting shifted towards a winner with a chicken dinner, because they're in the top 11, and now they're just barely fighting for their survival, not trying to push onto another player. But TP's player 5 has been taken now. That shows Team Predator is also not looking at a very good closure. But yeah, the push is coming in. Let's see what happens for Team GZM. Will there be a clash? That's a big question for now, but look at that. Another beautiful trade is coming in. That's FLA's Spooks, who is going to be taken, who is actually going to rip apart one more player. Oh, the outside play zone damage is also going to be there. Now it seems like that SCCP is also getting suffered up. Team Predators definitely trying their level best to survive, but now the last man standing is also going to get finished off. I believe only 5 elimination was there for Team Predators. Remember, the first match was absolutely brilliant for their team, but after that, now the things are not looking that critical. And this is the second last match for the day. Still, it's Rise Esports which is going to get eliminated quite early. We are left with only 9 teams, 27 players. Every single guy is going for himself, but the manpower is something which is actually helping out teams like Zebra Master and the other team which is in front of them.
Well, Flamingo versus Zebra Master is what we are going to witness. Rafa starts this up with a finish. Zara gets in a good position for himself, but Fox is in a better position. He's able to spot a lot of players from the place that there he is. But if he is not able to have his teammates survive, how is he going to execute a 1v3 is a question. Right now, that is exactly what he might have to do if all the players come to his side, which is actually happening. He gets spotted. He has been taken shot on. Fox gets picked. There's a final person from Flamingo. He's trying to survive by sitting in the vehicle. That's a very cheeky move, but CG God decides to come in front, tries to take a few more finishes for himself, not being able to go through that. Zebra Masters, or Zebra Masters that we will want to call them, they're definitely the masters of this particular game, at least for this particular scrims.
Exactly, man. The way they are actually decimating the teams are looking quite lovely. Look at that. They have actually eliminated 9 players, and meanwhile they are in the top 7. I mean, what more can you ask from their perspectives? The 6th zone is about to come in. Definitely rooting for the teams for now, but seems like that team Black Dragons are also getting suffered quite a bit. And yeah, the knockout is coming in. The last man standing from that particular team is pretty much far away, and that rotation, that recall, that revival is definitely not going to be there for the last 2 members. But eventually, the last one which is surviving, let's see what is he going to do, because now he knows the position from where the sprays were coming, so he can easily either deflect it or maybe fight back from it.
Well, that is something which we will have to witness, but from behind we are able to see a player trying to attack GZM. He's successful with that, but for how long is he going to survive? Because he's outside the zone, and I believe that he's also been picked up. Yes, the play zone will do the job, and Corinthians is the team that we were talking about. GZM got eliminated by Corinthians, but Corinthians gets eliminated by the play zone. Right now, we are down to just 5 teams in the name of Inco, Hornet Souls, Zebra Masters still running really strong. We have Storm, and we also have Black Dragons. Black Dragons, they got the first chicken dinner. Zebra Masters got the third chicken dinner. Both these teams will try to at least maintain their consistency in the leaderboard, and that is what exactly they are doing. But Zebra Masters have found Hornet Souls, and they are attacking them already. Shots are taken, shots are getting connected, and these shots that is getting connected is actually creating a panic situation for Hornet Souls. For how long are they going to survive is a big question, but they have been doing really well for now, but for how long is what I really want to know.
Black Dragon on the other corner, the team which was able to secure the first ever winner chicken is already out of equation. That's a sad start, to be precise. But remember, guys, this was the second last match for them. One more match to go. I don't know what they're going to bring to the table in this particular matchup, but for now, the sprays are looking good. Zebra Master also trying their best to tag around. They have got the 9 frags. They're definitely rooting for the winner of chicken in this one. And if they are able to do so, I believe that can easily be 10 plus finishes. And with that, a winner of chicken could come in. And there we go. The 10th finish, 11th finish to be precise, is already here. 3 teams and 9 players are surviving. What a beautiful decimation indeed coming from team known as Zebra Master. They're still rooting for the winner of the chicken dinner, although it is not going to be that easy. But the one team which is having the highest advantage of the zone, and apart from that, the highest kind of, let's say, frag at this point and the aggression, that is actually going to be the team which is known as Team Zebra Master. But this is a very great comeback coming from Inco. Storm on the other corner gets finished off, but Storm was also able to secure for the 3rd position. And that shows that Storm Esports is also trying their level best to come back in the lobby. Although they were able to get decent amount of points, but now the fight is actually up 3v4 situation. Drop is also going to be there, which will easily help the team which is known as Zebra Master going to get the right loots or maybe the level 3 utilities that was pretty much secluded in the drop. But meanwhile, if we talk about other guys, they're trying to change the pace of the game with some good mini 14 tap shots, and yes, they do it.
Well, it's a 4v3, or if we must call it a 3v4 situation for against the team Zebra Master. Zebra Master is going to have just 3 people, but the momentum that they built in this game is quite remarkable. They have 11 finishes. The winner chicken dinner prediction is 41% for them, but because there is an advantage of playing members for Inco, they might be able to capitalize this. But the entire day for Inco has not turned out to be really that good as compared to Zebra Masters. That can also play a mental game for these players, but for now it is about this last zone. The last zone is all about who is going to get the player down and which team is actually going to go down. Right now both these teams are not in a really good position, but the zone is favoring Inco Gaming, and if Inco Gaming is able to capitalize the zone favor for themselves, they're going to go with a winner chicken dinner. They're going to prove that winner chicken dinner prediction right. But for now, a aerial view that they're going to get a 2-2 split. Players get spotted. He will be taken down. Inco not so good for now. One player that they had an advantage of. Now the battle is now equalized, and we will be seeing Inco getting choked. But no, the support comes for with Vital, and a vital pick comes from his side, and this is going to be a battle for 2v3 now.
It's a huge battle indeed. The picks are coming in, no doubt on that. Inco is definitely trying their level best to find those amazing angles from which they can take down the shots. But look at that, a nade went in, but eventually it was unable to attack on anyone. Eventually, it was not just even enough to put down the splash damage, but the another one might be able to do so. But no, that's not the case. Zebra Masters are still surviving. Inco Gaming are still surviving. It's a 3v4 as we said, but eventually look at that. A beautiful opening has been created. It was Rafa who backs out another set of amazing finishes. That's amazing. 3 kills coming from his corner. Waiting for the right opportunity to go for the 4th one.
Well, this situation still is going to be of a 2v3. Both the teams have been able to eliminate one player against each other, but right now the zone is completely favoring Inco Gaming, and I will want to believe that Inco Gaming can also get a chicken dinner, but the way they are exposing themselves is not really working out for them. It's a 2v2 situation now. Players are quite in open, but Zebra Masters playing the game of their life right now to get this particular chicken dinner for themselves. If they get it, they're going to be the team that is not going to be easily taken down from the throne of Ruthless hype, presenting Pubg Pro Scrims of the Brazil region. Right now leading the leaderboard. Zebra Masters, they know where the players are, but they do not have a lot of the area to be moving around. A lot of nades are going to be thrown from their side, and that if it connects, then they're definitely going to have an upper advantage, because right now they have been able to manage to make the situation favorable for them, but not for so long. They get another player knocked for themselves. Zebra Masters surviving with this one. It's a 1v2 situation, Raider.
Oh, it's a tough one. Look at that, Inco. They are definitely trying to tag around. Eventually, the finish also comes in. Now it's a 1v2, a clear one to be precise. The shots could actually come in, but eventually, this guy from Zebra Master also knows if he actually peeks, he can be finished off. He can be taken down at the same instant. But the nade is coming in. Okay, that was a smoke. Okay, it was a stun if I'm not wrong. And yes, the stun nade was absolutely on par. But a beautiful nade to be precise. But eventually, this guy was not willing to move. He knows that if he moves, his positional cues is going to be there, but with that the finish is going to come in. It's Inco finally bagging out the round in the favor with a 23-pointer bomber, and I'm happy for the other team, that was Team Zebra Master as well, because they're also going to secure a kind of, let's say, consistent performance of 17 points.
Well, Inco Gaming claiming this for themselves. Will be happy that because there are two things. Inco Gaming was looking for such a good game. They have got it, and it is against the team that has been on the leaderboard, which means this particular team, ladies and gentlemen, is over here to not just play it but actually win it. Inco Gaming with the 5th position in the overall ranking, 25-33 damage, 10 elimination points, 10 points of the position in the match number 4 of day number 1. What an amazing performance from them. What an amazing game in the match number 4, that is going to be Miramar. I'm happy. Raider, you have to tell me on what has been the situation for you.
I mean, exactly, I'm also quite happy, but the thing is, other teams are also coming up to be a consistent one, to be honest, so that's absolutely lovely. But Inco, after not having a lot of grasp in the lobby. Finally, after the match number 4, they are looking at a very good spot, and eventually this kind of game was absolutely on point. But moving forward, let's see how far they will be able to go. What kind of impact these guys actually going to bring to the table is going to be the main question. But yes, all said and done, things are looking critical. Things are looking quite optimistic. Fights are looking good, and for now, I believe the another pick might be getting followed up soon. You might see some more casualties being delivered in the 5th map, to be precise. Before that, we'll get to know the scores and the overall ranking, because that will also tell us what kind of impact was there, what kind of anticipation is what we are waiting for. But no, man, everything is looking on point. Clashes are there, and the impacts are looking good. Whoever the team is, I believe I'm going to root for Zebra Esports, Zebra Gaming to be precise. Once again, Zebra Masters, that is the team, because in the previous one they had the 25 kill pointer type of winner chicken dinner. In this one they had 17 points. Reason being, they had 11 for the frags and 6 for the second position that they were able to grasp. So that's a huge comeback. But now moving back to the results, let's talk about the results as well. Well, teams to watch first of all are going to be these 4. Inco Gaming is going to be there with how many total throwables being used? Well, look at that, 6 nades, 13 smokes were there, and eventually 0 airdrops being looted. But eventually when it comes to Zebra Master, look at the number of nades that they were able to dish out onto the lobby.
Well, we were able to see see a lot of nades that they used only in the last battle itself. We saw so many nades that actually helped them to equalize the battle. But eventually they lost, but the competition that they gave was quite remarkable. But we'll be talking about MVP of this particular game, Rafa, with 4 elimination, 1186 damage, 6 throwables used by himself, and 5 assists that he's going to give for his team. An amazing gameplay coming from his end. But I am now more looking forward to, that is, to the overall standing, rider. If we are able to see that quickly, and I guess I'm going to be more happy there. But for now, it's elimination versus the damage that has been dished out. 2533 damage. It's about 25 kills that they should be having. But with 10 finishes, Inco Gaming getting that winner chicken dinner, followed by them 13 finishes and 2988 damage. Well, no words at all.
Wow, man, what a performance indeed coming from Inco's corner. Zebra Masters on the other corner, look at that. Their performance was also quite on point. Look at the number of points that they were able to dish out. Seems like that Zebra Esports and the other teams like Honored Soul was also trying their level best to gather a lot of points, but eventually only one of them is going to be the one which is going to be on par. And Inco Gaming specifically 20 pointer of a game, that's amazing. Zebra Master, they had 19 points in this one eventually. So yeah, there is nobody is going to dethrone them until the next match comes in. Before that, yes, Zebra Esports is actually Zebra Masters to be precise, is going to be on top. Honored Soul, if I talk about that team, 13 points coming from the corner. Corinthians, if I talk about that team, 9 points. Storm Gaming 6 points. Team Predators with 5. Flamingo Esports with 4 points. Black Dragons with 4 points. GZM Esports with 3 points. Sci-Fi Esports with 2. EYC Gaming with 1, Rise Esports with 1, and the rest remaining 4 teams which are there in the lobby, they had 0 points, be it Brazilian Killers, Knife and Skull, Alpha 7 Esports, or Loops Esports.
See, Knife and Skull was that particular team who were actually a team to be watched out in the first 2 games. Now the kind of performance that they have got to the table, I personally am a bit disappointed, but I'm sure they will, bounce back. I'm confident, because the kind of gameplay that they showcased in the first two matches, one was E-ERANGEL and one was Miramar. So there was definitely a consistency that they built. So I'm sure that this is going to be followed by just few bad games or bad matches cannot define a team's ability. Having which said, the match summary was on your screens. Not really got an opportunity to discuss about it, but coming to the match statistics, 354, ladies and gentlemen, we have a new longest elimination distance.
No, I believe in the previous Miramar we had 372 meters. So that is the record that has not been broken yet. But yeah, apart from that, in terms of total healing, yes, another beautiful record has been set up. 9,740, that's amazing.
You like to correct me, don't you?
When if the facts are there, I would love to.
You should. You should. We should actually be giving the right facts, but please continue.
Oh man, everything said and done. It's Zebra Master still on top, 49 points, just shy of 1 point. If that would have been there, the 50-pointer bomber could have been there. The half century by this team, Zebra Master, could have been there. I believe the next one Okay, no, they are not going to get any more matches. Thing is, every day, as per the backend instructions we got, every day a single individual team is going to get, or should I say, a single group is going to get just 4 matches. So it seems like that Zebra Master is pretty much over with their 4 matches. Now it's EYC also over with their 4 matches, and there is a buffer of, look at that, 18 points between Zebra and EYC Gaming. Apart from that, Black Dragons are there lurking in the shadow with 29 points. If they're able to get a beautiful chicken dinner of 25 plus pointers, then they will be able to climb back to the 4th position. Although it's a little bit tough on the other Inco Gaming, they have to come up with 30 pointer chicken dinner so that they can climb to that particular area where they want to. But it's going to be a little bit more difficult for them for sure.
See, now the point is you have another match to prove. So if Inco and Black Dragons are just able to survive to the last, then I believe if not #1, they'll be on #2 and 3 respectively. Because apart from those two teams in the top 5, there has been all the teams who have already played 4 matches. So they are done with the day, and now it is an opportunity for those two teams and the teams which are from 9 to 16 right now. Corinthians, they are slowly and steadily climbing the the ladder, the battle, and they are doing really good. I'm able to see that they are definitely giving a good battle out there. They just have to work on those callouts probably, and I guess there's going to be an excellent game for themselves as well. Last game is going to be a map of Erangel, and I'm quite excited for that.
Everybody is, because that definitely would be the last match, but eventually it would be the match which is going to showcase us that after a full day of 5 amazing images matches, I believe, what kind of impact, what kind of buffer is there between these two giants. But looking forward to see what Smoke Esports is going to do. Just 4 points, Alpha 7 points. Storm Gaming finally from the 20th position, they are back at 18th position. That's amazing. Brazilian is stuck at the 17th position. That's good. Yeah, the comeback is coming, but it's coming in their own way. They're trying to struggle around. They're trying to maybe bring back some points for the team. That's good and done. But for now, I believe the hopes are actually there. The fights are actually going to be quite critical. But let's see how far these guys are actually going to prove themselves, because just one more match to go. That's the main thing. Just one more match to be precise.
Yes, but well, I was actually holding the bottle and I noticed that it has my name. There are a lot of audience out there who wanted to know on what our names are and what our Instagram handles are. I guess we have the opportunity to say that. I'm Echo Boy, like how the bottle reads, and with me it is Raider. My Instagram is going to be IG_Echo Boy, and Raider, please tell yours as well.
Simple Raider_SLAYs. Raider Slays. That's my Instagram handle.
Well, you have got the handles, guys. If you really are enjoying our efforts, please do support us by following us on our Instagrams. We definitely appreciate the messages coming in, and I'm sure we both would also like some criticism if there is any, because we always would want to improve, and we will never know it, because for us, we are good for ourselves. And if somebody else is going to come and tell us that, probably we improve better. I mean, I believe in that. Probably we will not be able to find the mistakes or the things that we say as much as what a third party or a third person will be able to. But enough said, let's get back to the game. Today's matches, last one is available to us, and that is going to be the map of basics, the map of classic, the map that you first play in about 50 seconds, Erangel.
Oh man, Erangel, another beautiful map of Erangel is going to be there. 3 good matches of Erangel is already going to happen after this match gets over. So this shows that a beautiful advantage was there for a lot of teams. Eventually, Erangel is a map where you can actually come back with some good, decent points in their favor. So definitely rooting for that as well. Inco OP, that is what Memecast is saying, and all the other members are also saying. Adrian won PMPL Brazil last year. He played PMWI and PMGC Week Adrian. Okay, got it. Yeah, now I remember the guy's name. That is why I thought why it's resembling somebody else. But eventually, yeah, 15 more seconds to go. Next match is going to start next, or should I say the last one, but not the least one, because tomorrow and day after tomorrow we are going to bring back with the other set of 5 more matches, and 5 more matches day after tomorrow. To be precise, we have 10 more matches to go in this particular PUBG Mobile Pro Sims in the Brazilian region. Day number 2, day number 3 is already left, but this is match number 5. Raider and Echo Boy on the desk, and the flight path starts from the Georgipol Northwest City to the Novoripno region, I believe.
Okay, so from Georgia Pole starts the flight trajectory going all the way to Sosnovka military base, a quite western favored flight path. The locations in the east are not going to be approachable, but you have vehicles. If you know the location, you can take them, go to your favorite spot if that is going to be somewhere in the eastern side. For now, what I'm able to see, a lot of players have already taken their jump. Probably we're going to see some chaos in the Georgia Pool area, which I will definitely prefer. But I'll also prefer the last, the last zone battles, where when the chaos in the last zone happens, it's actually quite chaotic.
The last zone fights, absolutely a lovely one indeed. I just love that last zone chaos coming in. And last zone and initial zone, I mean, I'm a caster who loves to see chaos altogether in the game. Although that's not a possibility, you are just 64 players in the lobby. You just have 16 teams to be precise. And if you want to see every single second of fight coming in, I believe in just 16 minutes all of the fights can be over. But we all know that the game can go for 25, 26 minutes, or 30 minutes even can be the time period where the games can stretch out to. So definitely there are going to be some moments where the fights are going to be a little bit more on the passive notes. The fights might not be there for some seconds, for some minutes as well. But whenever the fights are going to be there, I would be the one which is going to appreciate a lot. But apart from that, in the Ferry region, seems like that we have another beautiful fight coming in. It's INF versus Team Predators. Remember guys, Team Predators, in the first match, they were able to get the fights in their favor in the Ferry region itself.
So Fairy Pier action is again back. Influence CHEMIN will want to definitely counter this time against the team of Predators. But as the name suggests, are they easy to be preyed on? That's a question to be answered. We will definitely be looking into that. But the split that I'm able to see from Influence Kemin actually tells me that they are not really interested to take a fight right now, which is a good decision. I really respect that. But talking about the zone itself, it is half on the military base, half on the main island. Raider, I have an immediate question, and you probably know what that is. Where is the zone going to go?
The predictions. The second one or the last one?
Well, let's talk about the fight actually.
Okay, leave it all that. But on the other corner, XTEAM, yes, they are trying to tag out Flamengo Esports, which is trying to rotate from the Nova Ripner Bridge. Oh, the SK shots were there, but nobody's going to tag up with that. Yes, this guy was able to put a pressure on Flamengo Esports to cut up their rotation, and look at those jiggers that has been created with the buggy. They're trying to just rotate and slither around eventually in that vicinity, but nobody is going to get connected. Not even a single shot went in and was able to burst out the tire. If that would have been the case, maybe some knockouts would have been followed up. And the Thompson was also there. Just look at that. The Thompson was way too close. What if the guys would have been actually putting up pressure on him, and eventually the push would have been there? Then I believe the survival would have not been there for the particular guy from XTEAM. But all said and done, it's Flamengo Esports which is still surviving. It's XTEAM which is still surviving. Not even a single casualty from the lobby is there. Some minor knockouts might actually follow up very soon, but I don't think so. This kind of chaos is going to be there. Only if the initial rotation clashes are going to be there, then we might actually look up to some more fights. But seems like that Influence came in, another beautiful team with a beautiful purple vehicle, trying to rotate, trying to find at the angles where the loots might be. And apart from that, for now, Influence CHEMIN is not going to spot any other casualty, but Storm is getting shut down. Two good members from Team Storm has been taken down. It's Pereira, and the other guy also gets finished off. Yes, Pereira has been taken down. Team BRK, Brazilian Killers, definitely looking quite aggressive, definitely looking quite punchy. And with the first initial pick that they are able to get, I believe now things can change quite rapidly. There is a pressure that is being delivered. Becky wants to fight back. Becky wants to push back from the situation. And look at that, another beautiful clash being delivered. But two good guys from the team has been taken down. But Storm Gaming finally gets countered. All said and done, it's over. Team Brazilian Killers were able to secure 4 amazing frags. The other 2 members which are knocked out were unable to secure even a single frag, but the 2 members which are surviving was able to completely wipe out the team.
See, well, at the end of the day, it is a team game. You get a finish for yourself or not that important. But if you're able to support your team members to actually get those finishes for the team, that I guess counts more. But you told it's over. It is over for Storm, but it's kind of over for me as well. I mean, in the first battle of this particular map, I have seen everything. I just saw everything. I saw a vehicle finish. I saw a good widespread gameplay. I saw it in the open, not in the compounds. I mean, these are the things that I look for, and everything has happened in the first battle itself. I'm happy. I'm as a caster, as a viewer, I'm happy. But not what I'm not happy about is for Team Storm, an early elimination yet again. That definitely is not what Team Storm was looking forward for themselves. It was a good, steady comeback in the map of Miramar, but map of E-ERANGEL just brings another disappointment for them.
Exactly, and the comeback that we wanted to see. 7 points. That's what Team Storm Gaming was having, but in this one, they went out quite early. That's a tough call out for them, to be honest. But eventually, next 2 days, next 8 matches that are left for them, can actually come up with a fruitful advantage. But let's see all the other members what they're going to bring to the table. Black Dragons is there, which is still on top at 29 points. Inco is there with 25 points. And yes, Inco is the team that everybody wants to support for now, because that is a team which is showcasing its roots, which is showcasing its instances of a strong comeback. So definitely rooting for that particular perspective. Meanwhile, if I talk about Team Honored Soul, well, look at that. Redder Boy and the other members are trying to hold, trying to actually get the areas, the ridges in the favor. But let's see where the zone is going to get compromised. 2 minutes and 43 seconds more to go, and after that, the first zone will shrink in. So before that, they have to find their peaceful vicinities from which they can fight, from which they can survive. And these towers, always will with a lot of loots, are actually going to be there here and there scattered in the map, where they can, where these guys, to be precise, in the competitive scenario, can get a lot of scopes, they get a lot of openings of those amazing utilities that is required. Some good guns are actually going to be there lying in the shadows. And remember, guys, this was the compound where in the first matchup we saw a beautiful team taking down everybody which was in front of them.
See now what I'm just going to continue with what I was actually saying, Raider. I saw everything in this particular battle. I said probably I seen a lot of things happening through the day. One thing that I was not able to see is a melee finish. If we see that I probably am pronouncing it right, but if I'm able to see a melee finish, that is a finish with a probably a knife or
Right.
probably a pan, that will sum up the day for me.
That would only happen, I believe, when the initial fights would be there, when there is not a lot of guns, or eventually when the banter situation is going to be there. So chances of having that kind of melee weapon as an attacking weapon, I guess it's going to be fairly bleak, but it can happen. So yeah, there is not a situation where the possibilities are going to be completely neglected. Yes, there are quite a few possibilities that can come up with those melee weapons and melee frags. But let's talk about the fights, let's talk about the reality at this point, and it's Mandrake Esports is trying to have the potato hill advantage on the back end areas of Pochinki, but this advantage is definitely not going to be that easy, as we all know. Mandrake Esports players are there. It's a very open area, to be honest, and there can be multiple areas, to be precise, from where the push can come in. It can come from Pochinki's vicinity, it can come from the areas of Sosnoka military base bridge, or it can come from another angles as well.
Can come from any angle that there possibly could be achieved. But we'll talk about mandrakes for now. Nicholas, looking good. Areas of Pochinki. See, when we talk about the areas of Pochinki, quite near to it, towards the school areas, we are able to see Potato Hills. That is a very significant location. If you are able to hold it well, probably you'll be able to actually govern against a lot of teams that are going to rotate in and around. But at the same time, if you are not able to hold it, then probably you'll be knocked and finished, that is like dominoes, one after the other. But Inco Gaming, they are also finding themselves in the southern side of Pochinki, wanting to rotate, wanting to hold a hill which is near to the 6 houses that there is. And on its souls, trying to get that loot. MG3 light machine gun. See, there are a
Mhm.
lot of new guns that there is there. Yeah, Rado, you agree with me? Um,
I mean,
would
we are
you?
the guys who had the opportunity to play BGMI. That is
Mhm,
the Indian PUBG. So definitely in that game we didn't had a lot of guns that are actually currently present in the PUBG M scenario. For
mhm,
example, we are actually looking at MG3 machine gun, which is pretty much lurking here and there, not in the drops. Apart from
mhm.
that, if I talk about some other vehicles, I don't even recall the names, but I would have to research on that. But for now, if I talk about knife and skull, the way they are rotating beyond the potato hills, beyond the Pochinki region, smoke on the other corner smokes one out from Team Brazilian Killer, but the retaliation fire is there, and that's the ranger who has been taken down.
Well, Smoke versus Brazilian Killers is a match, it's a game, it's a battle that I would definitely want to see. But on the other side, Black Dragons gets an opportunity to probably attack against Flamingo. They are still in a position that is not being, witnessed. I mean, probably they are not being spotted yet. But now with the shots that Talent has given, I'm sure he has let the other squad know that, hey, we are here. mind you, do not come close to us, or probably will be quite devastating for you, because well, we are actually having a good gameplay happening. But on the other side, Brazilian killers has been picked up, but Smoke still engaged in another fight. That there is a third party came in, but that third party is not really having a party.
I mean, the picks are coming in. Definitely, those search parties are not helping them a lot. On the
Yeah.
other corner, Smoke. Two good members have been knocked out. 4 finishes are there. Revival is going to be the main concern. Yes, they might actually go for the revival, but eventually, fights are coming up in the close guard. And look at the second play zone, to be honest. It's absolutely amazing. Very soon, the rotations are getting cooked up, and it's XTEAM, which is not even going to have a smallest sight of hindrance while they are rotating from Nova Ripner Bridge. That's a very lucky team, to be honest, because there is actually going to be an often type of scenario where the gatekeepers are going to be set down. Loops on the other corner managed to take one down from team The Predators. The Predators player 3 has been taken down by Loops, as I talked about them previously. And now the vehicle rotation should be coming. But before that, this guy is not willing to fall back. Mandrake Esports wants to fight back for now.
See, now, probably that's a decision that he wants to make for himself, which is good. But on the other side, we will actually be talking about Loops, who had an early exit in the previous game, has managed to be surviving till the stage 2, and stage 3 is on its way. But TP player 3, that is team. Uh, I'm not able to recollect the name. Predators, yeah, Team Predators. Player 3 got picked. Loops definitely enjoying that one finish for them. Team Predators trying to find a position inside the zone, but Loops is able to able to spot a lot of players who are in and around the zone. Now the 6-6 houses that I was talking about. The fight over here is always quite interesting, and I am definitely wanting this fight to actually happen, because it's a proper 4v4 battle, and I really want to see who is going to be having that upper power. Ah, no. What?
Wow, man.
Why?
Amazing zone shift.
No. No. I don't like it.
Very soon you will, because the thing is, it's a very open zone. Farm is
Yeah.
actually there, and you can see that shelter is also not going to be there. Not even the farm is actually going to be fully, should I say, utilized by the particular play zone. So very soon you will get to see a lot of clash, and I believe that is what you also wanted to see. Be the water body clash, be the bridge clashes, to be precise. Clash is one thing that is going to be pretty much similar for us as a viewer to watch out for, and definitely that's my prediction. That's my pick, to be honest, not the prediction. On the other corner, the shots are coming in. Look at that. It's a very long range type of shot, but yes, the connections are being delivered. So what more can we ask for now? If the drop shot would have been there, if the guy that is trying to take the shot, this killer Zada, if this guy would have been actually pruned, and then the shots would have been there, I believe that could have been a very good laser type of shot. But then at that moment, I believe the visibility would not have been there. Ruthless Pro Scrims, match number 5 ERANGEL. It's Group B, C, D, and E which are fighting for now. And look at that, in this 5 region, we have got two good big teams trying to take up a fight. It's Inco versus Team Sci-Fi. Both of the teams are trying their level best to find the ways, find their angles from which they can fight back. Let's see what kind of angles they are going to get, but the slam is going to be there with the Tesla. They're trying to push forward. It's a very great opportunity for these teams. The Molly comes in. It can impact, it can actually punish one or two members of Team Sci-Fi Esports, but no, that's not the case. From the back end, another nade comes in. It was a little bit on the far sided areas, but still, Loops, Doodoo on the other corner, Max managed to take one down from Smokey, but look at that. Amazing nade. Inco is one good guy. Vitali has been taken down. With that, Inco is now going to have a one-man shot of type of performance. Revival is pretty much out of question for me.
Well, Inco, the winners of the previous game, right now in a 3v4 situation, Sci-Fi they managed to pick with Tally or Vital. His name. Oh, there comes another nade. Lorazin definitely gets Becker off the equation. It's a 2v4 situation, and we are already witnessing an aggression that is coming through the smokes from the side of Sci-Fi. Another nade comes in. Becker gets completely picked off. Two players of Inco are definitely finished for now, and it's a 2v4 situation. Sci-Fi doesn't want to stop right now because they know they have the advantage, but there comes a retaliation, and it comes in the name of the nade. But that nade didn't really do much of a damage, but there are other teams that are around, and they are definitely taking the shots, and well, we are able to witness them on the hill in the name of Black Dragons. They are also in a really good momentum right now, and they have definitely indirectly helped Inco to survive for a bit more longer.
I mean, wow, man. I mean, At this point, I guess talking about the fights is just going to be an understatement because a lot of
Yeah.
things are happening. The rotations are coming in, the picks are being delivered, the takedowns are actually there. And look at the third play zone. Again, an interesting flank is coming up with that particular play zone. A huge shift of the northeastern area is going to be there where Team Flamingo Esports is actually going to be the dead center. We have got Black Dragons, which is trying to rotate towards that area. SCCP is also there, the Corinthians, I believe. And yes, the rotations are coming in. Okay, my bad. It was the fourth play zone to be precise. The fourth play zone is already here. In just 30 more seconds to go, the fourth person is going to shrink in. But Team Smoke, I believe, he's going to get smoked. The last man standing of his team gets shut down. Wow, that was amazing. I mean, the way these guys are able to create that art of deception was amazing. Did you even saw that smoke that this guy on the back end was able to have? Because he knew that there could have been a clash coming in. So that is why he was already prepping up a smoke so that he can create that deception. Along with that, I believe we saw another guy sitting in the pillion seat trying to actually come up with some good takedowns. He was able to do that fruitfully. With that, Predators is already out of equation. The domination comes in for Loops, and this is a great opportunistic match for Loops. But seems like that the skins that these cars are having should not go to the waste. So yeah, maybe the car is pretty much toppled down, but no, this guy with the buggy is going to turn it over. Let his teammate drive the beautiful beautiful car, to be honest. And now, look at that in the lobby. Everybody is having some beautiful skin. Seems a little bit on the tacky corner, but then again, let's see what happens. If I talk about knife and skull, I'm happy too, but then that's not my idea.
No? Good one, Raider. Good one. But we will actually talk about that on a later stage because Inco right now is getting punished. One of the players of Inco has been taken down, and Inco is going to survive with just one man. In this particular game right now, Black Dragons with 4-man strong surviving. They do not really have finishes that has been added to themselves. They are on the hashtag 3 on the leaderboard, and we definitely do not have the hashtag 2 team on the leaderboard for now, which means Inco has an advantage to be just surviving and trying to plus by the position points that could be possibly happening. But Knife and Skull trying to get inside the zone, just in the mouths of Loops. Loops is going to rejoin and regroup, trying to make sure that their players are going to survive. But for how long is Chief going to survive is a big question. But from the other side, we are going to have the players pushing in. The players are to be spotted yet. There is a revival that is happening. There is some patch up that is also going to happen. But both the teams are having one player each off the equation. There are multiple shots that is going on. There's a lot of chaos that is happening. I am definitely not able to understand on what is happening in this entire situation. But Loops gets picked up, and that is not going to be from the sides of Knife in the Skull, but Influence CHEMIN wants to third party the situation. They're already inside this particular zone in this particular game, trying to find the players of Knife and Skull. They have been able to manage to do that. There's just one player surviving, but how long is a big question because it's a 1v3 situation. Will he be able to do that or not? Raider. Oh my god.
Oh man. Oh, the molly. That was amazing. Along with the molly, a need also come in. It was absolutely on point. Knife and Skull actually gets popped off quite well. On the other corner, its Influence came in with 9 frags whatsoever.
Raider, I'm sorry, I really have to say something over here. Knife and Skull was in a good position. They got attacked from Loops, or if I must say, it was the other way around. But whatever it be, Knife and Skull was actually losing that battle out. But from far behind, Loops gets picked up from, I believe, XTEAM. They had a really good position from where they were able to eliminate that team. I don't know which team actually played a vital role helping Knife and Skull, but that help was not there for a really long time. Influence came in, charged in, eliminated Knife and Skull, and like you said, they have 9 finishes with them. That's huge.
That was indeed quite huge, man. It seems like that in just 5 matches we have seen everything. We have seen beautiful skins, we have seen fights, we have seen rotations, we have seen takedowns, we have seen vehicles crushing each other, we have seen the vehicles going kaboom. Everything is there, and this is the beauty of the pro sims that is actually presented, because the teams which are pro are oftentimes going to bring us everything in an individual match, because they know how to survive, they know how to actually pull through with a match, even if they are surviving with the individual manpower, or even if they don't have the manpower, even if they have the kind of, let's say, open area surroundings where they are actually looking at. Even if they don't have these smokes, they know how to somehow be agile and survive at the same time. Sci-Fi on the other corner gets countered, and that was a beautiful trade fire coming in. And eventually, if those knockouts would have not been there, the thing is, the team which is actually on the back at Sci-Fi Esports could be pushing onto them. But now when they are able to give that knockout, it is pretty much holding both of them. Not the Sci-Fi, not even the Sci-Fi Esports, not even the particular team of Honored Soul to push forward. Both of the teams were pretty much held it up, but eventually it seems like that team known as Sci-Fi Esports is completely shut down. They have already been compromised. They have already been finished off. Remember, this is the 6th zone which is bound to happen, which is bound to come in soon. But before that, Honored Soul is already getting countered. But what was that? It drops him in a vehicle. But what a beautiful spray indeed coming from his corner. Seems like that SCCP is just suffering a lot.
Well, GZM at 17th position overall, they are actually putting up a good show in this particular game. On the other side, Honored Soul, oh my god, that nade was definitely not a good sign for SCCP. Two players are down, but it's a 1v2 battle even now. Look at the smart move that is coming from SCCP's player there. I'm not able to get his name, but Rafina wants to get in a DB shot that gets definitely connected, but he was not able to check his back. He gets knocked from there, but the back GZM is still present over there. They get Honored Souls out of this particular game. SCCP was surviving, but not for long. GZM, what are you doing?
What a beauty these guys are. They're completely changing the mid of the game. I mean, one player is surviving. He's trying to bring back his teammate to the life. He's trying to revive his teammates. What happens? In a second, a shot comes in, the vehicle goes in flames, and with that, you are back to the lobby. That's what the message is for those guys who are surviving. What an amazing fight is coming up indeed in this lobby. 3 teams, 12 places surviving. It's a 4v4v4 situation. Although from Team Flamingo's corner, one good guy is knocked out, but the remaining third are trying their level best to give the comeback and eventually give the support that is required. With that, this is a definitely amazing Mexican standoff coming in between 3 ties. It's a deadly Bermuda triangle to be precise that has been created. But in this triangle, it seems like that there is only one team which is having the center POI, and that's going to be the Team Flamingo Esports. All the other teams are trying to struggle around and eventually come back in the close quarters. The nade goes in. It's a little bit on the far end. Yes, the splash damage was there, but not enough to put him down. Another nade is going to be there. It seems like that those mini red zones are for sure going to get created. Okay, once again, 5 nades on a single guy, but still is unable to knock him out. I mean, leave him. Let him be alive. Let him come closer to you, and then eventually take him down. Otherwise, you are just running out of utilities and not even being able to, let's say, get a knockout. But eventually, on the other corner, seems like that one good guy gets taken down with the vehicle blow, and with this knockout, with this opportunity, Influence came in for sure going to potion. This is the greatest opportunity that Influence came in can actually get at this point. From the right corner, another knockout might actually come in, and seems like that another nade is going in. That nade will impact that guy, which is actually on the lower ridge. And look at that, the nade goes in. Let's see, will he be able to find that knockout? Yes, the nade splash damage was there. Molotov cocktail is also working out. Another nade is gonna be there. Federal might be able to actually find out this knockout. Well, the sprays are coming in. What is amazing? I mean, see, he is getting tagged out from multiple angles. That is why he was trying to jiggle around. He was trying to just survive a bit, but it was not possible from the back end. Federal also gets popped up from the back fights. That is Flamingo Esports. That's what they are trying to actually pull through with. But Fox goes in with this 12k. Yes, definitely a gun that you want to wreak and havoc with, but no, the precision is not going to work out for you. So definitely having the right opportunity, having the right aim, precision is going to be very important when it comes to the guns like DBS, S12k, or S197, or even the S686.
See, I really appreciate that you were talking about Flamingo and Influence CHEMIN, but in all this equation, GZM is just surviving and it's just waiting for these two lads to fight against each other and then do the third party that they did against Soul Honored, Honored Souls and the other team there. But for now, Influence CHEMIN and Flamingo exchanging nades that like they have a dozen of them. Well, they might just be having in total, but this particular fight out here, GZM is just enjoying this entire battle. But now it has come to a passive mode. The zone is quite big enough to move around, and there is a drop that is going to tease all these players, and probably it's going to just encourage any of these teams to go get that. Influence came in quite nearby, but I am now a bit scared for Influence came in because all the 4 players are quite close to each other. Few nades, those raining nades again that comes from the Flamingo side. If it happens right now, Influence CHEMIN might take a toll on themselves.
Quite possible, to be precise. But yes, 3 teams are surviving, as we were talking about in the previous 2 minutes as well. It's a 3v3, it's a 3v4v4 type of situation where Influence CHEMIN is having the 4 manpower. GZM is also having the 4 manpower, but the team which is struggling with the manpower is going to be Flamingo. One good guy is actually stuck in the compound. The zone rotations is going to come in, and right now the opportunity of the zone is definitely in the hands of Influence CHEMIN. They are completely handling a lot of POIs. But GZM, they want to push forward. This is the right opportunity where they can push forward, because in just 7 seconds or so, the 7th play zone is going to shrink in and the zone damage is going to be way too high. Seems like that from Flamingo's corner, the last guy which was stuck in the compound is going to go for the heal battle. It could be the approach because there is nobody who's going to find him, and there could have been a lot of first aid kits that is going to be delivered with that guy so that he can actually go for the first for the heal battle. And yes, we did saw heal battle coming in, although the game was different. I was casting news today, so yeah, I saw that heal battle is also coming up in the E-ERANGEL's meta. So definitely looking forward to see what kind of pressurizing situation is going to be there. Trying to pop out the meta, trying to pop out the finishes. Seems like that Influence Gaming is still unable to find that opening that is required. But on the other one, I also get shattered with a lot of damage, getting reciprocated. But GZM Esports still trying to find their way in, and it's Team Flamingo, which is slowly but steadily trying to make their way inside the play zone. But seems like that I believe the 8th zone might be able to push for the fights. But before that, no casualties are going to be there, pretty much close to the circle. But yes, finally a casualty comes in, and it's Influence Gaming who is getting popped off.
See, Influence CHEMIN have actually done a thing that probably they should have avoided. They first took a fight against Flamingo, then they tried to initiate one against DZM. Now they have the attention of both these squads. Now they might unintentionally team up against each other and see some frags coming on themselves. But no, little boy, finds one, takes him down, and right now 2 players from each of these teams who were fighting in the initial stage are getting taken down.
Flamingo.
Fox takes little boy, Federal takes Fox. That's an exchange that is going on. Fox gets confirmed, GC God gets confirmed, Flamingo gets off this particular game. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a fight against Team GZM with 4-man strong and 6 finishes, but Influence came in with that freaking 17 finishes, 2-man strong right now. Both the players who are knocked right now are getting revival. It's a 4v4 battle in the end zones. Raider, this is getting off my head.
It's way too chaotic, man. It's way too chaotic. The circle is small. The teams are surviving. There is a lot of anticipation that which is the team which is going to survive. But that need was way too on point. But eventually, it was unable to give them the advantage of having the frags. But look at that from the back end. The support system is working out. They saw the opportunity. They were able to capitalize on it. From the back end, some more shots are going in. Oh, he was way too close to actually ripping him apart. Trying his level best to actually go for the knockout. But no, that's not the case. 18 kills coming from the corner of Team Influence came in. That's the record being broken. And still, I believe when it comes to the total number of points in a single individual match, for Influence Gaming, it's going to be 24 points. The reason being, they were unable to fetch out the chicken. And if that would have been the case, it would have been a huge match with a 28-pointer game.
See, I really want to agree with you on the statistics side. But come on, you have to give it to Influence CHEMIN. They actually outperformed any team in this entire day.
Definitely, yeah.
The aggression, the call outs that they would have had, the strategies that they built, the third party was also on point. They gathered so many finishes when there was an opportunity. They survived till the end. They were getting penalized but by both the teams that were surviving in the top 3, but they managed to pick Flamingo out of the equation. Well, there was a support that came from GZM, but GZM was more or less like, come on, we supported you to eliminate Flamingo, but we are not your friends. We are here to win. And well, they did just that. Frog with 2 finishes, Prog with 4 finishes, Hugo with 2, and Bro with 2. An amazing winner chicken dinner for them, but I guess I will still be wanting to talk about Influence CHEMIN's aggression in this last one.
Oh man. All said and done, everything was absolutely on point. The fights were absolutely looking good. But now I believe the casualties are something which is going to work out a bit more. But after having 5 amazing matches, things are looking well. And yeah, the teams which are actually going to be on top are going to remain on top, because it was Zebra Masters, if I'm not wrong, which had the highest amount of buffer in their favor. The other teams like Black Dragons, they tried their level best to come back, but eventually in this match, they were unable to come back with the strongest point of view. And the chicken dinner was actually in the hands of some other team. Apart from that, Influence Gaming had the amount of carnage that was required for them. So definitely looking forward to see what kind of amazing up and downs are going to be there in the particular overall standing. And other than that, the match-wise ranking is also going to give us a lot of insight.
You know what, Raider? The word carnage. I mean, that's the word. But teams to watch out for. Influence coming on this particular one. GZM, an amazing gameplay from them from the hashtag 17. I'm sure they have had a good leap from there. Smoky Sports, good job from their end, and XTEAM, good survival from their end. We do not see a lot of nades being used from their side, but 13 smokes is definitely what something which has worked out for them for themselves. But influence gaming, ladies and gentlemen, 22 frags, 34 smokes. It was raining grenades from their end.
Need parade was there, to be honest, and
Oh yes,
eventually
a
the
nade
mini
parade.
yeah,
Yes.
the mini red zone, whatever you want to call it out, it was there. And yes, absolutely, the impact was there. But for now, if we talk about the MVP, it's gonna be from Influence CHEMIN's Federal. That is the guy who is actually going to become the MVP. Although the number of finishes is looking quite well, look at that, 8 eliminations coming from his corner. The damage is gonna be 1127, and if we talk about the throwables being used, that is 16. So he was on point in terms of the fragging power. Yeah.
I just want to add one thing. I guess Federal made sure his bullets counted.
Hmm.
1127 damage and 8 finishes out of it. That was quite remarkable.
Not just those things, he was able to use 16 throwables as well. Out of those 16 throwables, I believe at least 3 or 4 would have been the nades. So yeah, that was absolutely amazing. Apart from that, if we talk about the eliminations and damage phase, look at that. Influence came in. A total of 2670 is the right amount of damage that they were able to dish out. Apart from that, 18 frags coming from the corner. GZM secured another set of 10. Altogether, both of these teams were able to get out 28 kills out of the 64 players which were there in the lobby. Exclude the including, should I say, including the 4 or should I say 8 members of their own team. I'm talking about GZM and Influence came in because both of them were 4-4-man standing players. So 8 of those, and apart from that, 28 other players. Look at that, the kind
That's
of
32,
decimation.
that's
Pretty
almost
much, yeah, pretty much 50% of the game is already was in the hands of these two particular teams, Influence Gaming and GZM Esports. But for now, when it comes to the leaderboard, 24 points from Influence Gaming, despite of not having the chicken dinner. Yes, they are on top in this match-wise ranking. Would love to see where they are actually going to reside in the overall standings. Apart from that, if we talk about GZM Esports, 20 points, Smoky Esports with 7 points, that's good. XTEAM with 7 points, Flamingo Esports with 7 as well. Corinthians with 6 points, Brazilian Killers with 4, same goes for Loops Esports. If we talk about Black Dragons, 3 points. If we talk about Mandrakes Esports, 2 points, same goes for the teams like Knife and Skull, Sci-Fi Esports, Inco Gaming. Then Honored Soul is also there, but Storm Gaming, from whom we had expectations, went out quite early. Team Predators, which started off the match in the Ferry Pier today, went out way too early. So yeah, things are changing quite rapidly.
But if you are able to notice the point difference, the first two people are having 24 and 20 points individually as to their teams, that is, and then there's a huge gap with the third team having just 7 finishes, and then that is followed through the entire table. So when you were talking about half of the lobby being managed by just the top 2 teams, you were fairly right with that. But talking about match summary, highest eliminations and highest damage goes to Federal from Influence CHEMIN. Oh well, there is highest knocks also that is going to be on his name. Sharing this particular match summary, we'll have GZM Frog. And oh wait. Highest healing done is also from Federal. So Frog is just going to hold one of the match summary post over here with 5 highest assists that has been there. An amazing yet an outperformed gameplay from Influence CHEMIN Federal. Well done.
Exactly, man. Exactly. A beautiful performance indeed coming from the corner. But let's talk about the match stats. 60 total eliminations were there. 7,041 is the total healing. 63 knockouts. Longest animation is not looking that good in this particular match. 244 meters. That's the least, I believe. And if I talk about the throwables being used, that's 247. 5 airdrops were looted. That is the highest amount of airdrops that was looted in
Yes.
the matches, to be honest. 8 headshots were appointed and total 18 rescues was also given.
So that will be the match stats. But we will be heading towards MVP rankings for this particular Scrims day. That is after today's day of total of 5 matches and 4 matches that each squad has got to play. We are going to have Frog having 3 eliminations, #1 to him. See, guys, this is not MVP is not being calculated with just the eliminations that there is. There are a lot of other factors that has been put in the equation, and with which Frog is going to hold the first position. And then we have Rafa with 9 eliminations, 2114 damage, and then we have Celine, if I'm not wrong, with 4 eliminations for himself. At 4th position we have Bruno Zin at 2 finishes, and then we have Scardo Zin with 1 finish for himself. Loop, I really want to see where they are standing in the overall leaderboard right now.
Definitely looking forward to that as well. But for now, if I talk about the overall fraggers, it's going to be Federal from Influence came in 10 finishes altogether today. And from the other corner, it was Zebra Masters Rafa with 9 finishes. And if I talk about Inco's Vitali GM, that's another beautiful guy with 9 finishes with a total damage of 2027. And if I talk about GZM's Pro G, whatever the name is, 9 finishes, 1530 easy damage that he was able to dish out. Same goes for SSP Testizen, which was able to get the 9 finishes. And eventually, if we talk about the damage, that was not that high, but eventually, yes, the finishes were pretty much on point.
Well, an amazing gameplay from all the teams, I must say. And I'm just happy with the fact that no single team has 2 players competing against each other in those leaderboards there. But ladies and gentlemen, overall ranking post-match 5, Zebra Masters still holding strong that particular position. Hashtag 1 with 49 points after playing 4 matches. Influence CHEMIN, a great jump to hashtag 2 with those 24 bomber match that they had with 34 points. They are going to be at hashtag 2. At third position, we have Black Dragons pushed I guess one or 2 points down. I'm not sure, but Black Dragons are going to hold the third position with 32 points. Not much of a difference there. And then we have XTEAM with 31 points and EYC Gaming with 31 points. So apart from Zebra Master actually dominating for the moment for this particular day, that is from 2 to 5, there's not much of a difference.
Exactly, there is not a lot of difference, to be honest, but yes, all of things are done. Now let's talk about the second page. We have got Inco Gaming with 27 points, Honored Soul with 27 as well, Knife and Skulls with 25, Flamingo Esports with 24 points, Sci-Fi Esports with 16 points, Loops Esports with 14 points, Brazilian Killers with 12 points, Smoke Esports with 11 points. Let's talk about the third page. Let's talk about the page where every team has to be worried about, because that is the bottom of this list. Remember guys, we had 24 teams and we had 5 groups to be precise.
Well, I guess from 14th position to 20th
20
position,
teams, I guess, yeah.
Teams have to worry. Yeah. So there are 20 teams. It's okay. Well, I mean, we both are excited. We are quite nervous with what is actually going to happen tomorrow. But with that being said, Alpha 7 not being able to outperform for the name that they've been carrying. 7 finishes, 7 total points that they have. Storm Gaming just above them with the same number of points. And above them, we have Team Creators with 10 total points, and then we have Mandrakes with 10 points. So that is going to be the overall standing, ladies and gentlemen, post match 5. That is total matches that's going to be played today of Ruthless Hype presenting Pubg Pro Scrims for the Brazil region. What a day it was!
A day full of insightful matches, ups and downs, some deadly takedowns, and eventually everything was absolutely on board. But for now, we are going to take a short leave, guys. We'll be back tomorrow at the same time with some amazing matches once again. Remember, guys, there are 20 teams, 5 groups altogether, Group A, B, C, and D, along with Group E as well. So the shuffles are going to be there. We'll talk about that, and make sure to follow the Instagram handle of Ruthless Esports. That is esports.ruthless. There we will be posting every single update. If there is any update regarding the event, if there is any update or rectification regarding the schedule and stuff like that. But anyway, guys, for now, as I said, we are going to take a short leave. My name is Jit, along with me it's Echo Boy and Desk. We'll be seeing you tomorrow at the same moment with this beautiful Brazil event.